My bad. Coach K has been talking, and he had himself on mute. Big shouts out to everybody in the building. Gunshots.
It's awesome, baby!
I got to run it back. Big shouts out to everybody that's in the building tonight. Thank you for joining Cozmo Physics Radio here each and every Sunday at 8 o'clock. Big shouts out to the Abundance Child Network, and we got something in store for you. We had a little technical difficulty off the gate, but it's getting ready to be delicioso, all right? Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Call in tonight, 347-215-6592. We got Dr. Delbert Blair up in the building from the Meta Center 2. That's THEMETA Center, the number 2.com. And we get my man Hotep coming on here from HustleUniversity.org, as well as ReachThemToTeachThem.com. ReachThemToTeachThem.com. So we got the metaphysical side, we got the cosmophysics side, we got the entrepreneurial side, and what we're doing tonight is bringing you all some answers, giving you some tools that you can use immediately. Dr. Blair's going to be going in tonight, as usual. I'm going to be throwing alley-oops from half court. He's going to be jumping out the gym, dunking on cats, shooting up three-pointers. Ra Aku is going to be in the building, the Cosmocrat. It's gonna be bananas tonight. Just everybody, put your seatbelt on, light your incense, and like we always say,
it's awesome, baby.
Well, look, I ain't gonna keep on going back and forth. I'm looking for Cosmo Chris to hit the one button, but while she's on the way, what I'm gonna do is go over here and sound the alarm. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the show started on y'all different. Y'all better get ready for the founder of Cosmo Physics himself. My main man, 50 grand, the God himself, Ra Aku. What's the science, Lord?
I'm chilling, man. Waiting to see how this is going to unfold. Venus is in Taurus. It's time for people to focus on possessions and money, man. Profit make margins and all that. Business. So we get into the cosmophysics of how your business should be running without no gimmick.
I know that's right. Let me go over here and get Cosmo Chris up in the building for a second. I know she got some hot build on this right here. Y'all put y'all hands together for Cosmo Chris. Okay, media mogul, blogger extraordinaire, actress, future Academy Award-winning actress, Cosmo Chris. What's the science?
Hey, what's going on?
We're relaxing around. We're getting ready to empower a couple million people tonight who listen to this show.
Absolutely. Yeah, happy Taurus season. The sun is in Taurus, This is your time to shine, and all Taurus.
It's awesome, baby!
All Taurus folks and the earth signs get a little boost as well because, the sun trines their sun. So that's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Absolutely. I've been working around since Capricorn, you know what I mean? So I can get some of this energy. So now it's my turn, and they're giving me the baton. I know what to do with it.
Yes, absolutely. And you got Venus in Taurus as well. So, it's a double dose of that Taurus energy. Right now our attention is going to move towards not only finances, but what we find value in, period. And that's subjective to each person, because when one's man's trash is another man's treasure, you know what I'm saying? So by looking at the second house and the second ruler and where you have Venus in your chart, all say what you find valuable, or your relationship with your possessions, your personal possessions, your money, your things that you spend your money on, things that you acquire on your own, versus acquiring from other people or borrowing from other people. That would be a Scorpio thing. So, yeah, so it's all about acquisition right now. Also, the land. Taurus is an earth sign. It's a fixed, which means it is stable. It is solid. If you think about how and this is will probably go into my article about Taurus season, but if you think about a plant, and how a plant has to have a foundation, it has to have a solid, it can't move around, or else it can't develop its roots. It can't grow without having a solid foundation. So that's key when you think about Taurus energy. Like, you have to grow from where you are. You can't move around a lot. Imagine if you're trying to grow a plant and the soil is in your hands and your hands keep shifting around, and the soil begins to creep through the cracks of your hands, and next thing you know, that plant can't survive in circumstances like that. So when it comes to acquiring and acquisition and making money and all, that is something that you have to do on a consistent basis. You have to build not necessarily a routine around it, but you have to have a methodology of how you go about acquiring things for yourself.
Keyword. Look, you stop keywording them. Rock, where the gunshots at? Over here keywording them out. Woo!
And the hits just keep on coming.
To me, the big keyword that you just hit them with, talking about Taurus, was methodology. And Taurus is methodical, when they sit down and it's about that. So I'm really glad that we're going to be delivering some systems. Hotep is going to be in here with some methods. Cozmo is going to be in here with some methods. Raku is going to got some methods. But I want to bring on our first guest. And I don't know whether you outside with the camera or you on the highway or something, but you got like crazy background noise over there. So I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to text me or something like that when you want me to take your phone off mute. But I want you to, or you can just mute it and then come back in when you're ready to drop it, okay? So, but I want to bring in our first guest because I want to hear about what his take on value is, his take on methodology. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be talking about magnetism tonight, and that's another, earth quality. So I want y'all to go ahead. This is the first time ever, too, that this brother has ever been on the Cosmo Physics radio show. It is my plum-pleasing pleasure to bring in my big homie, one of my mentors, one of the elders that I really respect. He's a wise elder. A lot of people try to use, I'm older than you, so listen to what I got to say, and they got bullshit information. This brother right here, if he calls me or if I call him, he takes my call, and he gives me wise information that's practical for me to use right then. And I mean, like, personally, metaphysically, spiritually, everything. He's a master meditator that, I don't know, for those of you who have not been around him personally, like at the end of one of his workshops, he's just bananas. His website is www.themetacenter.com. I want y'all to go ahead and put y'all hands together for my friend and yours, Dr. Delbert Blair.
It's awesome, baby!
Larika here. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm doing, I'm blessed by the best and too sexy to be stressed.
Well, that's going to take some kind of sexy nowadays because you got hetero, homo, and everything in between, so somebody will want you anyway. Let me say hello there to Brother Raku, too. I appreciate being on your show. It is the first time, my brother. And Cosmo Physics, of course, I have heard before, but have not listened to a complete show, So this is all different for me, but the difference is in the separation, since nobody now that is metaphysical can be separated because we must come together. It is time that this happens because it's a time for it to happen. So I want to thank you. And as you know, I don't go too heavy into the, how can I put it, the astrology consciousness, but I do follow basic things. Of course, your earth, fire, water, and air. And, of course, I'm Aquarius. So I am an air sign, but that gets me because most people, when you say Aquarius, look at the water bearer. So I would say this again, it's a time for all the signs to understand one thing. They are under a sign at birth, but with the signs that they make and the life that they build is what they're going to have to live with. That's why you've got some dying quickly, some dying older, some dying younger, but death is not a separation but a beginning, saying you're going to probably have to try it one more time. So having gone through all of that recently, as you know, at the loss of my son, having gone through the more trying to take my home, and at the same time for almost 50 years now, trying to get my people awake, all people awake, but the whole point is, again, the time for sleeping is now past. We're either going to be awakened in a half sleep or completely awake and wide. And let's hope today and the little time that I have with you, and I thank you for it, we can open up some wide eyes and some wide opening consciousness so that people must begin to understand what is happening. With that in mind, and I know it's a heck of an intro into it again, I'm a practical metaphysician, and I've been called that by many, and I say it is true. I'm the most practical person practicing metaphysics you will meet. It's not pie in the sky with me. As you know, I'm a contactee. I've gone through a lot of, I would say, I'm not great enough to be assassinated, but I see a lot of death threats, a lot of people who still, I just did a show, as you know, the other night, and they cut the poor sister off, took her off the block. Now, who ever heard of such from a guy who maybe talks to 1,000 people a year when people are talking to 1 million people a day and billions of people a year, and they don't do to them what they try to do to me. So it must be something I'm saying. It must be my heart, my consciousness, or something that is reaching some people and making them kind of fear me. And I know they fear me because they didn't want to hurt me. If you don't hurt somebody that you either cannot, that you can control, and they cannot control me. Saying that, one of the most practical things I have done in metaphysics is to get products to answer problems. I saw problems. Anybody can see problems. Some people turn their head away from problems. I don't. I face them. And I ask the Creator, and I believe in the Universal Prime Creator with all my heart, body, and soul, to guide me into better ways around these problems because they must be there for a reason. And if I'm wise enough to see it as a reason, hopefully I'm sound enough in consciousness to know that somebody gave me that wisdom, so I go to the wisdom bringer, the Universal Prime Creator directly. I don't go to churches. I will speak in the church. I don't go to ministers. I will speak to ministers. I go to the Universal Creator who made us all. And this is where I find I make less mistakes. I used to listen to people. I used to listen to this and that. I find they all have weaknesses. They all have strengths. In the Universal Prime Creator, who knows better than me what my strengths and weaknesses are, I can get better guidance. So most of the time now, if I need to meditate or if I need to get a solution, I don't read books anymore. As you know, I've got over 800 books in my library, and I've read 720 of them. But when I will go within, the answers are given, and that's what we all must do. One of the things I asked was, how are some of these solutions to these many problems going to be, what can I do to get part of that? So I have products now. I've got about 15 basic products, but there are only 3 of them that you really need to use because the rest of them will bring forth the other one. And that is something to work with your mind, something to work with your body, and something to work with your general spirit and character. If you can do that, everything will be in its right accord. So the things that I find now interfering with most people are electronics. And many of us, not all, but many of us don't realize how electronics are messing with our minds and messing with our body and messing with our spirits. And they're actually causing cancers and deaths right and left, and we don't even know it. What am I saying? I say this statement, and I want people to hear me, not what I didn't say, but what I do say, because some folks get very mad and say, Blair, you're going on an ego trip. Neither. I'm not mad, nor am I egoic. The thing is, every time a smart person uses a dumb phone, it's okay. But when a dumb person uses a smartphone, it's not okay. Because if you use a smartphone and you don't know how to control that phone or its radiation promises, then you're going to be in deep trouble. So that's what we got into, what we call diodes. And when you get these smartphones nowadays, and whether there will be an iPod or whether they're going to be It doesn't even matter, again, because your BlackBerry, whatever it is, all of them now can reach an orbiting satellite, because it means that if they want to look up Alpha Centauri or Epsilon Booty or go to the moon or to Mare Crisium, they can give them out a file or they can take a picture of it, which means you've now got an orbiting satellite beaming down to a device you're holding in your hand, left or right, doesn't matter. You're using the other hand to scroll, magnify, and amplify. That means you are now getting radiated by a direct beam from a satellite for as long as you do it. Think how many people do that 24 hours almost a day. All right, 12 hours a day. Okay, 6 hours a day. Too long. You do that for 6 months' time, you will have some kind of cancer cells in you, because we have them anyway. You will be using one of your major senses, sight, eye, taste, or something. You will be shortening your life. You will be affecting your sex organ. And this seems to hit home with other things. They don't care a daggone thing about their brain. But when you say it's going to affect my uterus, or give me uterine cancer, or my prostate, or give me a swollen prostate, they listen. It will do both of those. It will take away your ability to reproduce. It will take away your ability to hold a cell to mature into a zygote in your womb for 9 months. You'll have abortions, or you lose babies. Now, maybe you listen to me now. So here's what happens. When you use EMF, which means you're using electromagnetic fields, you're using what the Creator has made us all as. We are living in a creative index, a galaxy, a solar system. But when you begin to use ELF, and that's your problem, ELF, extra low frequencies, now you got a big problem, because the waves move so slowly, they get inside your cell and go back and forth and tear it up. And that doesn't matter wherever that cell is in any of your body. And we got over 7 trillion cells, so they say. Well, if they know what they're talking about, you got 7 trillion times to make those cells good, or 7 trillion times to make those cells bad. Cell phones radiate the eye, the ear, the tympanic membrane, the nose, and if you know eye, ear, nose, and throat, they're nothing but ducts there. All of those ducts can get germs, and bacteria go in them. You can lose all of them. If you use a laptop or a standard PC, again, if you're going to that, now you got radiation coming right there. If you're near a high-tension power lines, and many people contact me daily, boy, there's a power line out there near my window, or come into my condo or in a complex again. Or I can look down the street and see a double helix thing, something with things hanging off of it. Any of those things radiate ELF propagations. They're all bad. And if you can see it, it can radiate you. Keep that in mind. If you can see it, it can radiate you, because it covers hundreds of miles in seconds of time. Now, if you use or see a television set, a high def or a plasma, if you're using these routers, again, these satellite radio receivers or motors or wireless like that, if you have a microwave oven and you have it plugged in, you're radiating yourself. If you plug it in and use it, you got to be crazy, because now it is, when everything is a klystron tube in that thing, and everything that comes out of that when it's hot, you're eating raw radiation. When it cools off, you won't eat it. That means the radiation is dissipating. Think about that. Now you got MP3 players, video game stations, circuit breaker boxes. You got your automobiles, your cars, your trucks, and homes. And let me explain that briefly, too. Every time you get into a car, passenger or driver, you're killing yourself, potentially. Yes, if you drive wrong, you can have accidents and kill yourself. If you have a blind spot, if your rear view mirror or motor doesn't work. But I'm not talking about that. Every time you turn that key on ignition, kicks in an alternator which charges your battery. Now you've got an alternating circuit just going there again. It gives off energy. When that energy is given off again, it's now beginning to circulate energy back to your firewall, your wires, and all like this. Now, nobody with the cost of gas is going to get into a car or truck, turn it on, and let the motor run. When you cut it on, you're going someplace. So as soon as you put that thing into gear now again, you shift it, and now you're getting a different kind of a circulation. And all that energy now is going back into the metal of your car. The metal of your car also has wells, solid wells, that's what the insurance companies insist on. And what's sitting on that daggone metal chassis? Your bottom, your sex organ, your sciatic nerve. People getting sciatic and all this kind of thing. And that radiation comes right into your bottom, right into your spine, right into your sciatic. And now you're getting also radiated with the prostate and the egg sac again, or the uterus. So that's just what I'm saying. We have diodes to solve all those problems. You got one you can sit on. We've got one for your car, the hood of the car. And many people say, oh, I don't have to worry about that because I got a wireless thing. I don't have to touch anything because it's coming to my speakers. That means you got wires wound around in the roof of your car. The speakers are only outlets for it, and every time you use it, they're still rating your entire metal of your car because the metal upstairs above you is wired. You don't even realize that. Then some people have GPS units. I mean, it goes on and on. So what I'm saying is that's one of the solutions we have, and we have a diode plaque that you can use. You put your food on that diode plaque when you go shopping. You put whatever you want to, and within 45 minutes, sometimes less than that, it will take the radiation or poisons out of whatever you put on it. Now, many of you out there listening may know somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that told you that they smoke marijuana. I know none of you do that. But just in case you might know somebody that does, you also notice that in the 252 major cities in the United States, they will also get doping drugs in there. And many of them get heroin with it because they realize, whoever these powers would be, that people use marijuana, but sometimes they lace it with heroin, which is almost indicatively cancerous or indicatively it's going to hook you real quickly. If you put somebody who used to know somebody that used to have that marijuana on a diode plaque, it will take out the heroin and neutralize the bad parts of the marijuana. I'll repeat that one more time. Heroin users, people who used to know somebody that used to use it, it will neutralize that damn thing in 45 minutes. So this is what I'm saying. So when you have diodes, we have diodes you can sleep on, 7 feet by 3 feet. It will pull radiation and poison out of your lymph system, out of your liver, and out of your kidneys as you lie on it. We have a diode mid for your home. It's shaped in a pyramid double fraction, and pyramids are the best shape for conducting energy on this planet. When that comes through there again now, it will help to protect your whole house 60 yards around and 20 yards into the ground. Hear me. Now, if you're looking for protection from those towers that you see, instead of talking about them, acting like a fool, talking about, I'm going to put me a little resonator on here and it's going to stop it, it's not going to stop nothing. It's going to defer for some and some are going to penetrate. Get a diode, it will stop the daggone thing. It will not play around with it, and it protects you. And if they put 2 towers up, go get 2 diodes. Because what it's going to do is to shorten your life and everything you're doing without it. So you know me, man. I'll ramble on forever and over. I think I have something to say, and that's the practical side of metaphysics, making money through giving items that will save people's life. And I have saved many a life in my day. I can't even count anymore. I've gotten thanks, but the thanks came from the Creator for letting me do it, but sometimes money would help. So I'm a practical metaphysician now. I don't even take some of these cases knowingly. I'll wind up talking to people because I have a heart, but knowingly and get into their problem unless they pay me. Because I've had people tell me, Blair, can't pay for your classes. They're good, man, but I can't pay for them. I'll pay you later. The thing that broke me it was about 7 years ago. I had a young lady, had me convinced she couldn't. Went out, saw her, not only saw her giving a party and buying tons of booze and stuff, but smoking reefer. So I say again, you got enough money to do that. I'm not going to be your fool any longer. So people have kind of made me get a little more hard, but you know, I'm still soft for some, especially for those who want to do better and are trying to do better, because that's what I'm on this planet to do, try to do better. So I know it's a big rambling on, but I had to get that off.
Oh, man, no such thing as rambling. What are you talking about, man? You over here qualifying yourself as a Cozmo physician.
It's awesome, baby!
Because, listen, what you just did, just on your sun sign, being an Aquarius, you had to give us what? Information. And this is the information age. And you gave us something that was valuable. You know, like, I mean, that was priceless. And we needed it. You know what I'm saying? And you gave us something that would quench our appetite. That's more of a Taurus thing. So you showing and proving how cosmophysics works in a practical, you know what I'm saying, in a practicality type sense, because you are so in tune with yourself. You are grounded in yourself. You understand how to protect yourself. And then, like I just keep using the word valuable, you know. I mean, I was like, keep on rolling, Doc. I mean, and then, I don't know, I guess I had a question, but then you were rolling. But I'm going to, I guess if some people want to get some calls in, they want to ask Doc a couple questions before he gets up out of here. He's going to be here about another 20, 30 minutes. 347-215-6592. You know, Coach is going to ask a question. I got to open it up for Ra Aku, you know, bring him in the building and see if Cosmo Chris has got something. But I wanted to say, as an entrepreneur. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Interrupting you. Remember the last time we were actually personally together? Now, I'm not talking about when we went dancing now, okay? I'm talking about very practical. I was in the building. You were in the building. There was supposed to be a tornado coming around. And what happened when we were in that meditation circle? And I think I couldn't ask anybody better because you were there, and I'm there again, and your audience ought to hear that. What happened?
The tornado passed over the building that we were in and tore up, like, a lot of the county. Like, it was coming through all the state. Like, it was crazy. And the whole building was shaking. Like, we could feel it. Like, it was real calm before we started. We went into the meditation, and then it felt like the walls were breathing. Like, I've been in that building, like 6 or 8 months, and I had never felt anything like that ever, you know, and just, but nobody moved. Everybody maintained their breathing, and the storm passed, and I was very thankful.
And I say again, we were blessed, my brother, because we were in meditation to the highest consciousness, and we were not out there doing these stupid, foolish things that most of these people do. Where you are in your vibration is where you will be in your nation, and that means, again, the realization that the Creator is there for us all.
Whew. Before I open up this first call, I want to see Ra Aku. Ra, come on off of mute for a second and give me some feedback on that right there, because the brother's out here, he's lighting up tonight early.
I would like to examine the brother's birth chart, man.
Well,
you want to give us the year? You can tell us the year. Now, I know you're very concerned about your private business, and I won't touch on anything personal, but I am interested to know and see.
I'll give you 213, the minute of birth and the year I'm not going to give you. I'll give you 213.
213. There's a problem with that there, Mr. Blair. We need to know where the outer planets were.
Yeah, I know that.
I'd have to be a psychic to know that without your birth year now.
I know that. That's why I say I'll leave
my father was born, let me just tell you like this here. I wish you knew your chart, because then you could just tell me where your Jupiter is.
Yeah,
and that's your constitution. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. I ain't mad at you. 213 makes you Aquarius. At what time of day?
I think it was, here I go thinking. I think it was about 1:55 early in the morning, 1:56 early in the morning.
Oh, that works pretty well, because you're a Sagittarius rising and makes you quite the journalist. Whether you actually write or not, gives you an abundance of words. And because you're an Aquarius and got Gemini in the 5th, that's a natural information junkie. So you read just for the sake of reading. There's a serious pleasure in that. I told you last year, though, you should put your stuff in books. And you said you were a griot. You don't like to write. Well, that would be a hell of a legacy for us, bro.
Well, I've had 2 or 3 people say that, well, you don't like to write. But again, as I told you, I got 124 tapes. 3 of those tapes, each 3 tapes is a book. All you got to do is play my tapes and audit it. People start talking about it, but they don't have time to finish it. So that's my cause, because I didn't do it myself. And if you don't do it yourself, you must have others who will follow their word and do what they say. I haven't met them.
I understand. Tell me more about these diodes. How they are preventive, would they divert the electrical current?
Yeah, there are 13 kind of diodes, and what they do, the diodes work with energy fields, and the fields that they work with the best are the extra low frequencies, I was telling your audience, because low frequencies is what tears you up. High frequencies, we go through them every day. They're so fast and so fine, they don't even affect us. We're not even the matter. They say, what's the matter? The matter you with is so low it doesn't matter. But low frequencies stay around long enough to tear your cell up, and this is what happens. And almost all these things I mentioned before, I guess you heard me, I don't know. The laptops and the standard PCs and the microwave ovens and the TV sets and the MP3 players and on and for night and washers, dryers. All of these things emit extra low frequencies. So what it does, it speeds up the frequency, or it actually changes the electron around that particular structure. In other words, everything has an electron around it for the nucleus. It will take most things that spin to the left in general, when seen under an electron microscope or whatever, are bad. That's a generality. Most things that spin to the right, when seen under the electron microscope, are good. Yes, it's hypothetically, but that's pretty much a solid case. Now, what happens is it will knock that electron around that ring changing the stability of the nucleus and changing it from something spinning left to something spinning right. When you do that, you now have corrected the problem. And that's what they do. And they do it, you got something you can put in your pocket. We have bracelets you can put on your arm. We have we have things you can put around your neck, and it's very good for women because women have 3 lobes on the thyroid gland. They don't tell them that. And that's why they need more iodine, but they must get iodine that's non-radiated or to give them throat cancer and give them mammary gland cancer. Also, you have in front there your thymus, your heart, and, of course, the women, the breast. And many of these women are getting mammograms, and it means they're getting compressed breath, where the fluid in the body is now made radioactive. Get that 2 times or 3 times a year. By the 3rd year, you'll have cancer. So this is the way that goes. So we have those kind of things. We have the plaques. We have that. We have them for your homes. We have a diode for any purpose you need if you want to stop extra low frequencies from being harmful to you.
Okay. I was reading on your page you're also into monatomics. Can you break down some of that science for me?
Sure can. Monatomic gold is what we're into. Most people are used to silver because at one time that's all they had precious that you could mine was silver. So they got used to silvering silver. Well, gold has a higher vibration, just like platinum has a higher vibration than gold. The higher the vibration, the better you can be utilized, but the thing is, can you then sync with that vibration? So what it is now is that we have monatomic gold, which, again, liquids are easily swallowable, easily dissolved. Ionic is smaller than liquid. We have a whole thing called the Miracle series, Heart Miracle and and Miracle 2000, that's ionic. But monatomic means you just look at it, and it's inside you just about. And that's what we have, gold particles in solution that absorb by the body, and we have different kinds of them. We have a powder that's good for psychic ability. Take it on the edge of your bed before you go to sleep on an empty stomach. We have the liquid you put on your tongue, absorb, goes up to the hypothalamus, goes into the body. We have a powder that you can swallow through the capsules, goes through the digestive system. And then we have combinations of all. We have a black that's good for things that give you bite. If you're out in a scorpion bite, a rattlesnake bite, almost instantaneous death within 2 hours. You get some of the black and neutralize that thing in 45 minutes. So we have all kind of gold. It depends on what you're trying to do with the gold and what combinations you need. That's where I come in to tell you the combinations, but the gold stands alone in what it's able to do.
Oh, that's excellent. So we can find all of this on your website, right?
Surely can, if you choose to go through, and I hope you and your audience will. And if you allow me, I'll tell you what it is again.
Yes, tell us what it is again, please. Thank you.
It's www.themetacenter2.com. That means www.metaphysical, and everybody on your show knows all about that. Some people are ignorant to that, so they don't. It means meta, and then 2 is because the people out in New York stole my moniker. My lawsuit didn't go through. This year I'm coming through with a whole light, and a lot of people are going to pay a heavy price this year, the rest of this year. That's where I'm very getting money hungry, if you want to call it that, because they've stolen it from me for 40 years, and now you won't even send me a Christmas card with some money in it. So those of you who are stolen, you're getting head warning. You're going to get lawsuits, and I have records of how long you've been showing my products. I'll warn you that now. But at any rate, if you go up there and you push the number 2, Metaphysics 2, then you'll be on my site. And I have a greeting up there in my voice. That's how you know it's me, and you see my little ugly face up there, too. And then you can select from the products there. It's a pretty easy choice, and we have all of those products listed. Pictures, all you have to do is push the picture and make the order.
Very well. I advise everyone to check into it. I don't have any more questions at this time, Coach.
I have a question.
Yeah, please, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Hi, Dr. Delbert Blair. This is Cozmo Kristen. My question is, I've heard before about the extremely low frequency and how they have used it in the music industry. Can you tell us, like, how we can, I guess, do you have a diode or something that we can use to deal with that as far as sound goes?
Sound or light or all frequencies, sound, light, earth, water, just that you and the brother are aware of, all medium, all things that act as the 4 basics, again, have vibrations, and vibrations can be interpreted by the element they're found within. The frequency, well, what happens now is that every time you play a tape, every time you watch TV, every time you go to any of the channels, where you got Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne and John, and Lady Gaga and all this stuff again, the frequencies that they modulate, if you notice again, when you look at some of, what's her name, Nicki Minaj's stuff, they give you a kaleidoscope of things. They don't let you stay on one picture for any length of time. Beyonce has a little bit better handler. So consequently, they let you look at their beautiful bodies. They look at you, the guys gyrating their sex organs and stuff. But these other ones, they don't want you to get focused on anything. They want to control your mind. And as your left brain tries to make logic and slow it down, that means you have to concentrate even more. And that's when they hook you. They got things in there 113 levels down that can appeal to you. And after you watch it for a couple of times, you're going to be hooked. It'll say it's subliminally, you better buy this. You want some of this, don't you? They appeal to the sex organ, they appeal to the brain and everything else. And that's why they flicker. That's called flicker patterns. They use the same thing in some of these churches, too. We won't go there. These cathedral churches, you want to know how these ministries can draw those people? They pay up to 5013C and over $2.5 million, and they get it back the second year. So I'm saying again, everything is frequency. Once you understand electronics, you can control that frequency. I could get thousands of people if I wanted to go that route. I don't want the karma. But I do understand it, and that's what I ask to do. I always ask the Creator, give me intelligence, give me knowledge so that I can have wisdom. I don't want to misuse that wisdom because I don't want to come back here again, not under this state. But they use it, and that's how they get your money. I don't take your money. I ask you for it.
Thank you. Coach, where are the bombs? Where's the hand claps?
Come on, man. You know I'm on it, but I don't interrupt. Doc,
it's awesome, baby.
And the hits just keep on coming.
All right. Doc, don't worry about all that pomp and circumstance. He's a humble man. He just want to go. Look, he just want to go salsa dancing. Listen, for those of you in L.A., when y'all see Doc, make sure you know that you schedule him the night that the salsa dancing is hot and popping. And I want to tell you this. I'm not telling all my big brother's business, but when you put these magnets in your pocket or these diodes like Doc has, he goes in on the dance floor. I mean, I seen him shut a Mexican club down. I mean, like, he danced everybody off the floor. So, you know, I know he's just a little, you know, he tries to say he's a little older than what he looks. I know he's only about 58, you know what I mean? I'm sure that he's been teaching since he was 8 years old. He's been doing the better part of 50 years, about 58 years old, but he will dance a Mexican out of a salsa club with these diodes. So I really hope that y'all get up on that as soon as possible. I got a couple of I do have a caller that wants to has their hand up and they have a question for Dr. Blair. Caller from the 215-609. Your mic is wide open. Welcome to Cozmo Physics Radio.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is Mystery Manhattan checking in from Philadelphia. Just want to say hello to everybody.
Hey, my brother.
I really don't have a question. I just want to say thank you for having Dr. Blair on. Dr. Blair, you and your family are in my prayers. I'm the guy that started the fund when your son passed. I talked to you, I think it was like 3 weeks ago to the day that we talked on the phone. So I just wanted to say that you are in my prayers, and I will be giving you a call later on this week.
Well, I thank you so much. I definitely need those prayers. It still hurt me very deeply. Yes, I understand reincarnation. I know my soul had karma. My son has karma, and I have karma. And, of course, I also understand the dharma that can come when you awaken. He had to awaken this time in this season, and the awakening was rude. But, again, it still hurts on the physical plane, even though I know he's not gone in the other plane. So I thank you for whatever you have done, will do, and are doing in his behalf, my behalf. May the Creator bless us all.
Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
Brother Eden Manhattan, can you let people have the contact information for the fund or how to get in contact with you? So if people want to make a contribution to that fund for Dr. Blair in honor of his son, do you have a phone number you want to give out or a website or something or email address?
They actually have to, I haven't gotten Dr. Blair's permission yet. He said he had to clear it with his business partner, so I didn't put it out there. I just set it up, and I passed all the information off to Dr. Blair. So if he gives me the okay, I'll put it out there.
Well, here's the thing with it again. What we've done since we have a website, and I have done a regular show, although I'm changing that around now too. And of course, anyway, let me just go on with that one. They can just mail it directly to me. It's just that simple. We have things set up under trust, And so, therefore, some of the evil arms of the government can't touch it. And, of course, they can. So that's the way that's done right now. We just say go up to the website. There's a donation box. Or I just give out the center address, and you can mail it directly to me. That way I know I get it.
There you go.
So if that's okay. And hey, by the way, my brother, I thank you. Now, did I tell you that? Now, I know what you meant was good, and I'm not demeaning at all, because you did something in 1 minute that other people talk about and don't do. Some people are selfish, some people are just forgetful, and some people just have enough of their own problems they can't help with mine. So I do thank you for that. But if the brother allows, again, I can give out the address and the marked number again, for our website. It's up to you guys.
Absolutely, Dr. Blair. Anything you want to give out, just go ahead. Our casa, su casa.
Muchas gracias, hermanos. The address is 9317 South Colmar. 9317 South Colmar. That's Kolmar Avenue. That's in Oak Lawn, Illinois. Oak like an oak tree. Lawn like you walk on. Not land, but lawn. Lawn. The zip code is 60453. 60453, and you make it out to what my slave name is, because the account's in that slave name, Dr. Delbert Blair. If you don't want the doctor, then put Delbert Blair. Either way, that's Delbert, last name Blair, Blair. Website is even easier if you want to go there, and that's www.themedicenter2.com, www.themedicenter2.com, and our business phone, 708-422-6685, 708-422-6685. And I thank you deeply from the Creator's heart and my heart, and the Creator has now got my son, so the Creator is going to get even more creative. So I thank you, brothers and sisters, for all of that, and allowing me to give that. I do need help, and I'm not ashamed to say it, but I only want it from those who really respect what I do and think that I've earned it.
Thank you, Dr. Blair.
Thank you, Dr. Blair. Let's go ahead and get it together, fam. Let's go ahead and get it popping now. I mean, I'm not even going to get on the soapbox. Y'all know what it is. I got a couple more calls before we bring in our next guest. Caller from the 708-214. Your microphone is wide open. Thanks for Cozmo Physics Radio.
Peace. It's Coach Chief calling from Chicago. How you doing?
Well, Chicago dude. How are you doing?
I'm good. Dr. Blair, I know you know about the sinkhole that we just received on 96 in Houston. Can you shed a little light on what the earth is going through in order for that sinkhole to occur?
Oh, wow. And why weren't you, did you come out to the center yesterday?
No,
you didn't. We've never seen Coach here.
To the center yesterday.
Man, yeah, we do one every Saturday. You got to come over to the center. You don't have to, but I invite you. I wish you would. Yeah, we covered most of that time. We covered the thing. Our whole earth, of course, is honeycombed with tunnels and caves and cities and everything else. And I said cities, yeah. They just don't teach you that, but it's what's happening. And Chicago, of course, had a fire here, and that area spread outward, and so this was out there, and these were forest and wooded areas at one time. So underneath there, when they dug wells and stuff, they had to enforce these pipes, and some of the pipes, they didn't line them with the kind of material they have now, and they're beginning to leak. And, of course, every time you get earthquakes and tornadoes like we've had, that jostles some more. So they begin now to sink. You're getting breaks all over the earth now because the earth is a very subtle substructure. It's not as solid as you think. There's tunnels down there and everything else. So I guess that must have been where one of the mains had leaked or something. And so, of course, the ground begin to open up and the cars begin to tumble in. And that's just the way it goes. And that's going to happen all over there. We're just beginning to get sinkholes. In fact, we got some predictions out that you wouldn't believe, some of which are substantiated both in the Al-Quran and the Popol Vuh, the Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, so on and so forth again, and some of the old sayings. What they call this guy, I can't think of his name right now, but everybody quotes him too. So it's a lot of things happening on our planet as we go from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, and our planet is not as solid as you think. And let me make a prediction here now that I want not to come true. And I ask people to meditate that it doesn't. You've got volcanoes going off underneath the Atlantic Ocean now. Keep in mind, I'm talking about the ocean out there between Paris, France, and Maine and New York and all that stuff. When those things explode upward, they're going to cause waves to rise, and that causes what you call tsunamis. If the tsunami goes to the west, it'll be out there in Europe. If it goes to the east, you're going to get the East Coast. Let's meditate that some of that energy can be dissipated, and we don't start getting tsunamis like we had a taste of and up and down the coast last year. It's all possibilities.
Okay, cool. What is your take on the reptilians? I hear so much about reptilians, but I kind of like I want to hear your take on, are we really dealing with reptilian energy on Earth, and what other kind of species are we dealing with that we have know about?
Got 13 kind of races right here. Only 3 could pass for anything like human. Umites and Centaurians and everything else. We don't even know about them. Government does, though. I'll tell you something else, too. I have never seen one up close. I think I got into room with one, but hopefully the magic worked and he never or she never made herself visible. But I have seen pictures, and I know people that I trust have almost gone crazy when they've seen them again, per se, again. That reptilian race, and I'm going to say this slowly because it's going to sound like I'm making it up. I believe this to my heart. Our Earth is some 4.6 billion years old. They talk about history. We don't know what history is. It's something they made up in 1908 at the University of Chicago, and there's professors over there. 4.6 billion years. The reptiles have run this planet for 3.9 billion of those years. That's why they're going out, and they'll take the whole planet with them if they change, because they got to get off. They can't stand magnetism. They can't stand sunlight. That's why magnetism is growing. That's how we got 2 suns giving off magnetic energy, because it's to get rid of them and their species. But in order to do that, you have to adapt to higher frequencies. It's going to kill you, too. That's where the problem is, and everything they give you 15 hamburgers for $1 and drinking a Coke and Gatorade to these guys, and that's why they're now vibrating low, and so we're in danger, too. There's a lot of fighting going on here, but you have to have some wisdom to know what side to fight on.
Thank you, big brother. I appreciate that, Dr. Blair. Let me get to the next caller. Caller from the 623. Your microphone is wide open. Can I get your name and where you're calling from, please?
Yes, this is Asha. I'm calling from Arizona. And peace to you all. I wasn't really trying to get on air. I was just listening through my phone because, as I said, you listen on the computer and it keeps going off and carrying on. So, but I am enjoying what I'm hearing so far. A lot of it I am familiar with already, and I'm just glad to see that so much of it is coming out in the open in order to help and guide us, and particularly the younger people. So, Dr. Blair, I certainly appreciate your presence. I almost thought you was one of my father's brothers. You look so much like my father's side of the family, but I don't really have it. Well, you know what? While I do have you on, you know what? You talk about the different species. Is there any species that you are aware of whose skin color is dark blue?
Yeah. That's the one they used to worship. Krishna and the Buddha and under Lao Tse, Buddha, and Krishna all were considered to be blue-black energies. And that comes from the energy field around them, the auric around them. When the upper chakras go to a certain vibration, they change colors. And, yeah, this is what they used to use before they invented our person we were killing ourselves for. And the women say, I don't need no man because I got him. So before that around, they had lots of other men. They had the Trinity, and, of course, Christianity has changed that. By the way, too, if you go to my website, near the bottom on one side, you'll see a picture of the new Pope in either the Sistine Chapel or some part of the Vatican. I don't know where. But the room he's sitting in, beneath it is a picture of Baphomet. Yeah, I'm on the radio down here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Somebody just knocked on the door here. There's a picture of Baphomet, and out of the top of Baphomet is a new person. Ask me why a Pope would have a Baphomet figure behind him. And let me know what is now happening with this religion that has more homosexuals than they have straights.
Thank you. Absolutely. Blair's bringing the heat again. I better hurry up before Cozmo Chris get on me. Where my stuff at?
It's awesome, baby!
And the hits just keep on coming.
Dr. Blair, I want to round you up tonight, and I definitely thank you for the information, that you shared with us tonight thus far. I want to end your piece on you are, as we transition to the second hour, you are an entrepreneur. I was asking you today, can you remember the last time you filled out a resume for somebody?
No, they wouldn't hire me anyway, and I don't want them hiring me. I'll speak through the Creator for myself, and in hopes that people like you understand the product I sell, which is metaphysics and some of the deepest sciences you can get, and help me along that line. So no, but I have to be able to reach the public, and thanks to people like yourself I can, thanks to people who understand what I'm saying, the products I have are invaluable. Therefore, then I can put a value amount on them and we can do business in exchange. But everything that you work for somebody else can be taken from you. When you work through the Creator for yourself, nothing is taken from you. And if people hear the truth coming from you, they'll buy the product.
Now, that means that will put you up under the side of an entrepreneur, or as we discussed earlier, we might even call Dr. Blair a metaphysical hustler. What do you think about that?
I'll take the title. A hustler is someone who does for himself the skills that he or she has. And what I'm doing is I give a product that everybody needs, metaphysics. If they don't need it, it's because they don't understand it. Once they understand it, you'll find the products I have will help you. Help your mind, body, spirit, and soul. And yes, in since I'm that hustler, I will not deny it, but I'm hustling for the people, of the people, and by the people. And I'm not constitutional, I'm universal. I'm telling the cosmos to help feed me, because as I feed back through the cosmos, I expect something in return. But that's my product.
Spoken like an Aquarius, for real.
And the hits just keep on coming.
That's right. Well, Dr. Blair, I can appreciate it. We got the metaphysical hustler up in the building. I don't know if he's, if anybody ever put that tag on him before, but a brother who's been in business. How long has the Meta Center been open, Doc?
52 years.
Whew-wee. Yeah.
Ain't none of them here black before me. I'm probably the oldest working metaphysician in the United States. The trouble is, some of the white people don't know about me. But let me say again, my first 2 years, black people wouldn't touch me. I had nothing but white people. Black people say, I want to do metaphysics. I know Jesus. I ain't going to do metaphysics. Any excuse, but the white people paid me and they paid me. I made as much money as I've ever made in my life. What I'm saying now is I'm now for all people. But I'm especially with people with melanin, because melanin is the keys to the kingdom. So I'm still doing it. Creator still allowed me to do it. And I thank both you brothers there for allowing it to continue today on your show, too.
Wow. Well, Dr. Blair, what we're going to do, we're going to move it from the metaphysical, from the information and the wisdom that you've given us. We're getting ready to move it into the practicality part. You can please feel free to listen in, because one of the things I admire about you is how you accept wisdom from babes. And in your eyes, I'm still maybe wet behind the ears or something like that. But I think that the second part of this show is going to have some valuable information for those up-and-coming metaphysicians, and for those who take advantage of metaphysicians like yourself, in how they can become hustlers too, how they can brand their swag. Like, that's your swagger. That's your swagger is the Meta Center. That's why you suing them other people, because they trying to, get up under your swagger. And you rightly should, as I would say, this is my opinion, so don't think, but Dr. Blair didn't tell me to say this, but yeah, bust their ass. That's an infringement on your particular creativity and them trying to get paid off of you. That could be a whole nother show, but, I'm on your side all the way around, and I'm glad that you choosing, the legal way to do it versus going after them with a couple of them Chi-Town gangsters.
Yeah, I thought for a long time they'd change on their own, or at least send me a penny on the dollar they make, but the brothers seem to have no conscience. And these are so-called brothers. These are melanated people, So as I say, they don't seem to have a conscience, so I'll see if I can get them conscious.
Well, we're going to move on to my brother. I got a big brother coming in who is real big about helping the youth. He started out as an educator, graduated from Morehouse. He was teaching the elementary school in 5th grade in the DeKalb County school system in Georgia. He was recognized by by Congress, I guess the House of Representatives or the Senate or something like that, as being one of the foremost educators in the United States. And what he did was form an organization called Hustle University. He branded his swag so he could reach out and get to people so they could be taught. Because a lot of people, you have to reach them on their level before they understand. I'm pretty sure that you have experienced that as well. So I want to get some people to get their hands together for my brother, my friend, one of my comrades in the community. He practices metaphysics a lot more than he understands at this present time, but he is about empowering people with financial literacy, economic empowerment and giving them the know-how and to learn from somebody who has actually done it. Will y'all please put y'all hands together for my man Hotel?
It's awesome, baby!
What's going on, big brother? What's the science?
What's going on, sir? How you doing? Hello, world. What's popping tonight?
Man, we just sitting here just relaxing and maxing. We let you coming behind a legend tonight. You know, I know you spoken all over the United States and you plan to do some international, but you know, we kind of like set you up so you could come in behind one of the legendary brothers to ever do it before. I know your business is I know you've been successfully doing business for a couple of years, but how does it feel to come behind an entrepreneur who's been in business for 50 years and can't remember the last resume that he filled out?
Big brother, it's only an honor and a pleasure to be able to do so. And as we do on all the shoulders of great legends that come before us, we stand on their shoulders and they help us rise higher. So I thank him for paving the pathway and allowing people like me to exist.
Well, we're gonna show and prove tonight because Dr. Blair is his swagger is fierce, man. I know you got a lot of swagger, but this brother he's swagged out. So I'm just glad that you could be on the show tonight as we move into the particular topic of Venus and Taurus. So I love doing a show like this where we bring on a guest who we can use, not misuse or abuse, but we can use him for educating people on how they can improve their situations. Dr. Blair talked about it from a metaphysical angle of using the diodes and using the gold and being aware of certain things. But I want to bring Hotep in because everybody understands the language of money. Everybody has a bit of hustle in them. They have key trigger words that pop off, you know, when they hear that word. And here, this is a Cozmo physician show. We study the movement of the planets and the heavenly bodies. And right now, like J. Paul Getty says, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. And through us being observant, looking at the astro weather, we see that Venus, a planet of money, is in a sign of money, Taurus. It's like it's back home. It's like when you are on your home court, you know, when the Thunder or one of these, you know, when Miami is playing at home, they're real hard to beat. So we got a money planet in a money sign, and we said, man, who better to have come on the show than my man Hotep from Hustle University. We were up in New York a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people were with the Learn and Earn series, you know, and we gave a lot of valuable information out. And we have, I know you have an event coming up in Atlanta on May the 4th, but could you please give people a little background about yourself? Who is Hotep? What and why is Hustle University relevant?
All right. Well, again, good evening, everyone. This is Hotep, the one-man brand and president and founder of Hustle University. Today I go by the title of the business abolitionist, helping free people through the pathways of entrepreneurship to help find themselves and free themselves from their own self-induced binds and boundaries. So that is who I am, existing and staying in ATL for now, but coming from Long Island, New York, a background in education and, of course, entrepreneurship. And my journey through entrepreneurship has been that of the individual who can never find a way but learn how to make a way. And because I am an educator not just by profession but also by nature, I've been able to utilize my experience as a platform and turn it around and now show people how they can do the same. So it's a blessing to have been able to create Hustle University, something that is very much in alignment with who I am, my own spirit and nature, and everything that makes me unique and special, and being able to brand that to an extent that allows me to make a living by speaking about what I know most, doing what I do best, and simply being myself. And I hope and wish it for everybody to have that kind of freedom, that kind of feeling of sense of purpose, and being able to be paid well for doing those, for just existing, and to giving what it is that I give. So, you know, that's a little bit about me. Hustle University in itself now is a self-help organization. I stress the word self-help because we focus on providing information in regards to education and entrepreneurship, and doing so from a personal development standpoint. And so that is something that makes us very unique, approaching business from the inside out as opposed to the outside in, and giving the rules, the tools, and the jewels to help people find the success that they want and strategize the pathway to seeing that vision that they have for themselves in their life. So that's that, sir, and that's me.
That's what's up, big brother. We're definitely glad that you're here. We're going to talk about being an opportunist. You know, I want Cozmo Chris to come in. She's going to give you some information, and then we're going to roll it back. So we know we play basketball around here, so, you know, I'm going to bring in somebody off. I'm going to bring in, like, you know, a Scottie Pippen, or sometimes she's Jordan when she wants to be, give us an opportunity, and then I'm going to come back. I mean, she's going to give us some information and some wisdom, and then I'm going to come back and let you express. One of my favorite topics with you is being an opportunist. Or I'm gonna bring in the founder. I'm gonna bring in Ra Aku if I can get him off of mute. Ra Aku, are you still on the line with us, big brother?
Absolutely not. Everything you're hearing is an illusion right now.
I love it.
When's your brother's birthday, man? I want to know birthdays.
Hotel, the man said, I know you're October 21st, what year?
1973.
And what time were you born?
That I don't know.
All right. And you're in Atlanta, Georgia, or you're in Atlanta, Georgia, that's where you stay at, correct?
Born in Queens.
Okay. Now, I think you tapped him out last time. I already know one of the questions he's going to ask you is, what's the earliest injury that you can remember as a youth? Falling off a bicycle? Did you have sinus problems, lower back pain? You got any tattoos?
You know, I had surgery on my thumbs. I had what was called trigger thumb, and my early injury would probably be this scar that I have on my wrist after scraping my wrist on the monkey bars one time.
Yeah, I pretty much figured he was a Virgo rising, man. Is that the left arm, the left wrist?
It's the right, actually.
So it's both of your arms?
No, it's the right wrist.
So you said the surgery you had on your thumb, was it both of your thumbs?
Yes, it was both thumbs, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, no, that would put Scorpio at the ascendant. His enthusiasm for chasing his money is Mars in Taurus, you know. And I would say that back in late 2004, early 2005, there was a domestic situation, domestic destabilization or stabilizing situation that has a lot to do with why you going after this economy on the entrepreneurial tip at this time, huh?
2004, 2005. I can't think that. It's hard for me to even remember what's happening besides the work that I was doing at the time.
Okay, that's all right, bro. I ain't tripping about going through all that. I just wanted to get an idea of who I was dealing with. The last time you were on our show, I didn't make it until very late. I have heard you on Know the Ledge, and big up to Know the Ledge, all right? A.A. Rashid and the whole Scorpio fam on that side. But I wanted to look at your chart because the drive to enlighten the youth is admirable. I find that to be a trait that is, quite noble, and I look up to that in people no matter where I find it. I also look for it astrologically, to see what type of individual carries that mark cosmophysically, right? I'm really on how you got your program laid out, and I hope you would get into it again today in terms of making your brand and not allowing your brand to be violated and or to diminish.
Yes, sir. Something that I hold very, very highly and closely to myself is, again, not in honoring oneself and using your differences to make the difference. That's something I'm very clear on. So I don't mind being different. I don't mind being unique and special. I turn those things around and make that the actual thing that I am revered for. And so I think the same can be done for, actually I know the same can be done for each and everybody out there, no matter who you are, fat, skinny, tall, short, shy, bold, enthusiastic, reserved, whatever it is, that those characteristics, qualities that you have, you can use your differences to make the difference. And in doing so, because you're so unique, so valuable to the world, people will pay you to do you and be you.
Well, I hear that. I agree with that entirely. That's what's going on in my life right now. So that's just a confirmation and a testimony. A testimony from me and a confirmation from you that I'm on the right path. Indeed.
Keep doing it.
It's awesome, baby.
It is awesome, baby. Look at that. He caught me with my joints down, but it's all good.
Awesome, baby.
So, look, I'm going to ask Rod this question. Now, watch this, Hotel. Watch this. Watch this how we use this billionaire strategy with Cozmo Physics. Rod, with Venus coming back home, so you got Hotel as a real hustler with the sun sitting on top of his Mars. He's getting ready to have a Mars return. He's going after this bread. He's getting ready to go after some six-figure deals. And Venus, is moving back into Taurus. How would you even explain, that there's the timing for Hotel as far as opportunity right now to get some money?
Still listening to this show as I get dressed.
Well, looking at his chart, bro, I see Saturn moving in his face and Venus in opposition. I can guarantee that there's going to be some delays and setbacks that he's going to have to work through the course of this week. Mars rolling over his own Mars degree with the sun to amplify that is going to provide a means of frustration for him. And he's a Libra, man. That stuff going through Aries created a great deal of anxiety or energy for him to use, As Venus is in opposition to Saturn right now, then it would be wise to rely on the fact that he has a plan B in the event that he meets some obstructions on his way. Do I need to say that again? Do I need to say that again?
I'm paying attention, taking notes.
Yeah, this is especially for this week. After this week is over, after Mars blows over your martial degree and the sun blows over that degree, then things will be back to smooth sailing. But because I see this being in the 8th place, Saturn being in the 8th place natally, all right, and that conjunct in the South Node has a lot to do with your reliance upon other people's contribution to the project or to the task at hand. You see, your reliance upon someone else's effort or energy to get something done or delivered may very well be hampered in some form or fashion. But Mars usually blows up with things very quickly. The best thing to do is to keep your composure and understand that you've been told this already. Particularly because Venus is in opposition to Saturn, that indicates delays dealing with money or payments or profit margins or product that is to be prepared by a deadline.
All right, plan B.
Yeah, so whatever plan A is, when it appears that a nut or a bolt has been vibrated off or one of those screws, then just understand that you got your handy wrench there ready to catch it. Because 9 times out of 10, this opposition between Saturn and Venus is going to cause money problems for a whole lot of people. On a mundane level, we're going to see it in the stock market. When I say mundane, I mean a worldly societal level. And these things are not to be ignored. I don't have the desire to impress folks. You got to understand that when Venus when Venus, the Sun, and Mars activate your Mars which is retro by birth, and is a dispositor of the sign that holds Chiron. That's a recovery. Whether it is a recovery from an obstacle, a delay, a piece of correspondence that you didn't get, somebody failing to mail off a specific letter or a shipment, I wouldn't know exactly how it's going to manifest. I do know that it has something to do with property and or finance and or profits, because that's what the sign of Taurus is indicative of. Well, it also squares your Gemini. It squares your Jupiter in Aquarius. And that square motion right there tends to indicate a delay or a hampering of something that you need to get finished. But because Venus and Jupiter weren't in bad aspect when you were born, I wouldn't say, I say that your optimism is rather up. You're usually very good with that anyway, maintaining focus and maintaining a positive outlook. That's all you need to do. I don't see this incident setting you in the hole seriously. I do see it causing a little bit of frustration. I do see you having to exercise some tolerance and patience to iron that situation out.
That's one of the.
You can come back and tell us how accurate that or how inaccurate that was.
I look forward to it, my brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
And I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt what you was about to say. What was you going to say?
No, I'm saying thank you very much for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, Hotep talks about being an opportunist and an unashamed opportunist. He just got some information, and he's getting ready to share with some people, you know, after this Mars blows over. So that's why I'm glad that, you know, this Mars will be blown over in 2 weeks when he's having this Authors and Speakers Academy here in Atlanta. Hotep, can you tell people why you've decided to share how you've written 13 books, how you make $1,000 an hour or more for speaking engagements? We were in New York. I saw that they paid you $3,000 to talk for 45 minutes at a high school. Why have you decided that you want to share this with people? I know you're the business abolitionist, but can you tell me why you decided to share this and what techniques you're going to use?
Okay. Well, yeah, on May 4th in Atlanta, Georgia, we're having the next Hustle University Authors and Speakers Academy. It is something that is actually an intense 8-hour training day, very intense, more like a boot camp, if you will, to take people from thought to finish when it comes to creating, taking their intellectual property, taking their expertise and finding creative ways to monetize it, utilizing, of course, publishing techniques for publishing books, but also CDs and DVD items that they can utilize to share what they know best. The second part of that is, or the next part of that is not just creating the product from thought to finish, but also selling the product, because I know a lot of people who have books, who have CDs, DVDs, and other media products to share, but aren't selling them, okay? People are not buying them, and there's a certain reason why that's happening, and that can be attributed to their marketing strategy, to their cover, to their title, to the type of audience they're marketing to the strength or weakness of their brand, and all those different things in between. So we go over the sales techniques and the sales ability to sell their books. And because one thing people know me for is the expression, I don't sell books, I sell boxes. And that's the type of mentality that I like to share with people, not selling on a retail scale, being able to move units more like as a wholesale type of situation. The third aspect of the Authors and Speakers Academy is what you just mentioned there, which is the speakers component, which is once an individual is able to monetize their expertise through the physical format of a media product, whether it's a book, CD, or DVD, well, and they're able to establish themselves as an expert in their field. The next thing that comes along with that is the ability to share their information by speaking. Obviously, if you can write it, and you can put it in the physical form, in that type of tangible and handwriting form, then people are going to want to inquire more. They're going to have questions. So much like you are asking me questions now, and I'm speaking here on this radio show, people will ask you to come out and share what you know, come to their city, come to their state, and speak about it on on a long-term scale, whether it's a half-hour, full hour, 3-day training, 3-day training, multiple hour training, and the like. And people will pay you very well, very heftily to do that. I make at least $1,000 an hour to do what I do, to speak about what I know most. And as Coach said, sometimes I make many times more of that. And so I'd like to share that with other people, because there's plenty of opportunity out there, and I know that I am an unashamed opportunist. And for those that are interested in taking advantage of the opportunities that are available to them, I invite them to come to the Authors and Speakers Academy, invest in themselves, and I will invest in them as well and pour into them for full 8 hours. By the time it's over, I certainly will be spent and be worn out from what I've poured into people, but by the end of it, they will certainly be filled with the information, the knowledge, the practical strategy for doing so themselves. And I have quite a few graduates from our last one to attest to that. And I'm just hoping that people see the value of it. If you're one of those people that likes to talk and wants to do it for free, do not come. If you're one of those people that wants to write for the sake of writing a book and just looking at it sitting on your shelf and give it to your family, do not come. That's not what I teach. I teach people how to monetize their expertise, monetizing it, because we do believe in getting paid money for doing what we do, for providing a value to this universe and to the world. And so I'm very clear about that and not ashamed to say it.
Now, Hotel, let's say somebody has a subject and they want to talk about Egyptian history or Kemetic history or some type of discovery that they have, or a person is very passionate about it. Is this a place where you're going to be helping them cover how to create a brand? Because I meet a lot of people all the time who are passionate about stuff, but they don't have a brand. Can you go over, I know you have a book called Brand Your Swag, one of my favorites. Can you go over the importance and maybe like the percentage of what's going to be contributed from that book to this workshop?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because, on my bookmarks, the notorious Hustle University or Hustler's 10 Commandments bookmarks, that's something we talk a lot about, taking passion and turning your passion into profit, turning your dreams into dollars, turning ideas into income and your craft into cash. And so we do that without any question for anybody, no matter what their passion is, no matter what their idea, craft, or dream is that can be monetized in some type of way. And, you mentioned someone that has great knowledge and expertise in the areas of Kemetic history. I know someone that plans trips and takes people overseas to Egypt and other parts of Africa. He gets paid even more than I do, and travels all around the country and the world to share his expertise about Kemetic history in the forms of workshops, trainings, for different groups, and he gets paid heftily. Actually, he's one of the people that shared with me his techniques and helped me transition from the classroom to the boardroom and what I'm doing right now with Hustle University. And so, and I thought I was doing something before I heard him speak, and then he put me onto his game, and I said, oh shoot, you know what? That's how I need to do it. And so being able to take what I already knew, combine it with some of the, information that he had, I was able to transition to. So my point is, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's astrology, metaphysics, whatever it is, some of those things that you may think people aren't into, or not enough people to patronize that type of information. I guarantee you, if you're able to establish a brand and an identity that means something to certain groups of people, knowing who those people are and where they are and how to strum the chord that moves them to take action, and then be able to provide something of value to them, whether in the form of a product or service, you can monetize anything and everything, and there is enough money in those small groups, if you will, to be able to make a living off of it, six-figure living, if you will.
Now, you just did a seminar with Andrew Morrison called Publishing for Riches. And I know that Jupiter's going through Gemini now, and Gemini is, writing, contracts. And when you publish, that's people giving you contracts or prepaying for, big orders of books. And riches, to me, I associate with the sign of Taurus. But one of the techniques that you brothers were talking about was, I remember Andrew Morrison said he wants to show people how to switch industries, make $150,000, and then go ahead and have more time to do what you love. Are you going to be sharing some of that technique where people can help identify whether they're in the right industry or not? Because they may have information, may be passionate about it, but maybe in the wrong industry that's not paying. I remember there was one young lady there. She had a story to tell, and where millions of doctors would buy her book, but she wanted to do something else where only 100 people would buy her book. How would you address that situation?
Well, that's basically what I'm saying is it's a matter of positioning your information and your knowledge, creating a brand or identity that's clearly defined so that you can express it to other people can express it to other people and pass it on for you, something that's unique and special and authentic to who you are in alignment with your own goals and also your nature sent via the Creator. And once you're able to align that in a way and describe it in a way and connect it with the right people, then you're able to bring in the money. And yes, a lot of people like to talk about being millionaires and billionaires, but come on, real talk, you don't need to be a millionaire to be happy, to live a healthy and an exciting lifestyle. Even when I was a teacher making $50,000, I never stopped the fact that I was able to travel the world. I've been to Egypt. I've been to South Africa. I've been to the Dominican Republic, the Caribbean, and all across the United States. And I did that on a teacher's salary. That's $50,000. Right? I make more than I make double that right now. My point is, if I'm able to do that at $50,000, all this millionaire talk really is just, is excessive in my opinion. Now if you want $1 million, you need that. If you build a lifestyle that you need $1 million to be happy and feel like you're successful, fine. If you need $1 billion, fine. But 6 figures is more than enough. For most people. For most people, 6 figures is more than enough. So that's why Andrew said that. $150,000. Who would be unhappy with $150,000 and be able to live and do what you want to do, have enough time to spend with your loved ones, your family, travel the world if you want to do it, and be able to do all the things that make you happy? I think that's the great balance that a lot of people miss in life. So, yes, we will be addressing all of those issues, making sure people are able to develop their brands and, again, get paid to do everything that makes them unique and special, to brand their swag and, turn those ideas into income, their dreams into dollars, and their passion into profit.
Boy, that's what I'm talking about. Put my damn bombs at around there. Lick a shot.
It's awesome, baby!
I want for people to open up, man, who got some ideals to ask this brother. You got a cat on here who retired at 37, who's getting ready to start teaching these techniques. I want to invite some people to press 1 right now and get in his head. I'm like, this is me. Like, I'm calling this brother 3-4 times a week, getting in his head. And that's what I want y'all to do. The calling number is 347-215-6592. I'll get it. Oh, I got company coming over to the Chris Hip. I love it. So if anybody's on the line and they want to press 1, please do it and join us into the conversation tonight. Absolutely. Hi there. And this is I'm having a wonderful guest come over tonight. So if anybody who wants to get in on the call tonight, please come on and press 1. The call-in number is 347-215-6592. 347-215-6592. Y'all got a question for Hotep, or if y'all want to know anything about it. Now, if you're interested in coming, and if you're a friend of Coach K, you're a friend of Ra Aku, we got a discount for you. Anybody listening to the show tonight who wants to get $100 off the investment, you go to honesthustle.info right now. www.honesthustle.info. And because you're a friend of Coach K, you're a friend of Cozmo Physics, please believe it, Cozmo Physics wants you to get paid. Like, we don't just do readings so we can, like, do entertainment and educate and things like that. We are all about you getting paid. We want to tell you where your opportunities are. We want to help you, you know, add some champagne to your campaign. That's not a bluff. That's real talk. So please come on and give us a call tonight if anybody's interested. Ra Aku, I know you're still on the line. Cozmo, Chris, you and us, you know, I mean, you got so many irons in the fire. This may be a good time for you if you want to ask a question of Hotep or Ra. If you got any other comment that you want to share, you know, come on and chime in. 'Cause, you know, y'all know I chop it up all night.
Well, this ties right into our show that we did last week about the MC and the IC, the deepest foundation and the highest potential, and how people do need to, if you're not going to study this science, get a reading and to see what your highest potential is, where your passions lie, what you can be doing to make money, and then we send you to Mr. Hustle University there to show you how to implement those things. Because now you have your roadmap, you have your direction, and then you go and see this brother and get the tools to make your dreams and your passions and your highest potential really come to fruition, so that you can leave that corporate job, or if corporate America is where you want to be, then you could reach your highest potential in there as well. So,
Chris,
yeah.
Hotep's MC is 3 degrees Virgo in his 10th house. You want to give him some assistance on that, because he's all about getting his campaign.
Well, we really need to nail down his, because he doesn't know his time, and I mean, we did a short verification process based off of his injuries, but I would really like to dig into his chart off the air to line up, you know, his timeline to see if that is his actual ascendant, because there's no point of reading his MC being somewhere, because it may change based off of the time, you know, that works best with his chart.
Gotcha. Okay. I appreciate Paul.
That's what you call being precise. And precision. You know, this is a precision science. A lot of people think, well, you're an astrologer, you should be able to tell me everything. You know, we have to line that chart up. We're not pulling this stuff out of our behind. We're using planetary alignments, which are in constant change in motion. 1 minute, or let's say 4 minutes of time off of a birth chart makes a projection 4 days off using progression. So 8 minutes off of a person's birth time is 2 days off. 12 minutes, which is not really that large margin of time in experiential life, while progress relates to 4 to 5 days of inaccuracy. And if you 1 minute too late, you might as well be 1,000 years too late, you know?
That's what I'm talking about. We do got a caller on the line. Caller from the 323-677. Thanks for calling Cosmo Physics Radio. You're live and direct. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Brother Jericho. How you doing, my brother?
Peace. How you doing, Jericho?
From California.
Very well. I can tell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you said that 323. Yeah, so I kind of do astrology myself, and you know I'm not as refined as Brother. I think his name is Brother Haru. I heard Brother before, and I just want to know a little bit about my chart. I was born October 11th, 1980, at 5:16 a.m.
Big brother, we're not doing readings right now. We're still on the topic. We're not doing readings until 10 o'clock. So we're staying with the topic of getting your hustle on. I got an expert on the air who helps people produce businesses, form their own companies. That's what the topic is right now. We're not doing readings until 10 o'clock, and then we're going to be doing readings about what's your, where's the money at for you now? Where's Jupiter at the transit in your chart? Where's Venus at in your chart? Tonight is a money show. So, and that's what helps solve people's problems. So we want to keep it kind of specific to that particular area. All right, big brother?
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. I got my own business right now, as we speak. And, what you call it, I'm a Muslim, so, I sell pies, I sell papers. I mean, I get knowledge. I actually do readings myself. You know what I mean? I just ain't never charged for them. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what I do. You know what I mean? I don't know where Jupiter is at for me right now, but I know I've been very successful in maintaining my own, you know what I mean, as far as my own business, because, I don't have no, as they would say, industry job, or I'm not in the working class like that, on the mainstream of, like working at a warehouse and everything like that. But I do have my own business, and I am being successful, all praise to Allah. So, that's where I'm at. My bad, brother. I didn't know we wasn't doing charge right now, so, I'll
No, that's all right, bro. You said your name was Germani?
Jericho.
Look, Jericho.
Yes, sir.
It's 7 o'clock, your time. He said 10 o'clock.
Yes.
He's on the East Coast. Just hold on and stay in the queue, and we'll get back to you, bro, and we'll answer your questions about your chart, all right?
All right, most definitely, my brother. Peace.
All right. Peace.
All right, so with that, Coach, allow them to go onto the website if they're interested. I have to get ready to go, big brother. I have a training to do tomorrow. And so I got, the hustle continues on this side. So for those that want it, I invite them to see them on May 4th or go to your website or my own to get more information. But I got to get ready and get into planning mode, okay?
All right, big brother. Like I said, I definitely appreciate you for coming in the building and chopping it up with us tonight, you know what I'm saying, an official tissue. And we look forward to you doing much success. We definitely, everyone that's listening tonight, you know what I mean, we're going to add some hustle. We're going to add some muscle to their hustle after you go over there and exercise your muscle. I know you were in Charlotte this weekend over there smashing and grabbing. How did that turn out?
It went super, big brother. I'm really just a little tired. For Sisters Only was real big, and then we did a meet and greet. The Learn and Earn series here in Charlotte today, and I just got still a little jet lag for coming back from Kansas City the week before. So, staying on the road can be taxing at times, and I have a big training to do tomorrow, so I got to have my mind right and my energy right for tomorrow. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time, appreciate your attention. For those of you that are interested in monetizing your expertise, we got something for you on May 4th. HustleUniversity.org is the official website, and if you want the discount, don't buy the tickets there. Go to honesthustle.info. Get it from Coach. He'll give you $100 off as you are a part of the network. And we know Hustler's commandment number one, your network is your net worth. So let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hotep, business abolitionist, Hustle University founder. Wishing you all peace.
Peace.
It's awesome, baby!
And the hits
just keep on coming.
Come on, man. That's damn rock. Raw Cool is psychic, everybody. I want y'all to hashtag on Twitter right now, Cozmo361, hashtag Raw Cool is psychic. That's the two hashtags we dropping tonight. Just so you know what I'm saying, shout outs to my big brother. He knew I was going to hit that button. Come on, don't say it was a coincidence either, just psychic ass. It's my man right there. I'm going to hashtag
it was a
that right.
coincidence with your psychic ass. Don't say it wasn't a coincidence with your psychic ass. It was a coincidence with your psychic ass. Okay?
Raw.
But I believe the brother Hotep is a Virgo rising. Number one, because Capricorn in the 5th house says teaching children. Mars in the 9th house Taurus says self-empowerment through finance or commerce. It also says, passion, turn your passion into profit. He reading his own shit, man. You dig what I'm saying? It ain't hard to figure what a sun sign he is. He got Jupiter in Aquarius, meaning most of his profits and most of his best endeavor is going to be made through working with groups, crowds, and on the internet, man. A large margin of profit will come through the internet, man. Dealing with. And I would like to know if he's still on the line, if he isn't really gone yet. Do you have any experience dealing with electronics, like before he actually started teaching in schools and teaching school children? Did he work with machines or electronics in the years while he was in college or before he took a job teaching as a teacher?
Oh, you know, we're gonna have to snatch him up, because when he said he was getting ready to bounce, he already bounced.
Yeah, right, very well.
Very well. But see, with the Cozmo powers that I got from my big brother, my mentor, I'm gonna just go ahead and turn Virgo, you know what I'm saying, and put it on the ascendant and read them like that. You know, I gotta, I know that's gonna be strong enough to hold me down for right now, especially with that Jupiter in the 5th. So I appreciate that.
Al, let me tell you something, everybody out there, man. You need to get on your number lines right now. Okay, that brother Jericho, they called in. He's doing readings, and he wants to understand it a little bit better. Everybody needs to learn how to compose a number line. That is a sheet of paper with at least 30 lines on it, or 29 lines, so you can, from 0 to 29.9, put a number line on there. Then look at your birth chart. Your birth chart, right? And put the planets next to the appropriate numbers like you find them in a wheel. This takes that circular wheel and lays it out into a very simplistic line, straight line. Okay? Once that is accomplished, we can start to look at the chart and compare numbers from the number line to the numbers in the chart. This is what astrologers do. Okay? If you got the sun at 1 degree or 2 degrees of any sign, then right now, the sun being at 2 degrees Taurus is aspecting your sun degree right this very second. Okay? So for those people who are Virgos, who are born like September 24th and 25th, and those Capricorns that are born very close to Christmas, you're going through a sun trine right now. Things are looking up for you right now for the next 4 or 5 days. Some astrologers would say 12 days. Okay? You have any opportunity right now to engage in either higher learning or travel, or would I say September? Okay, yeah. Thank you for the correction. Pardon me. For those people who were born in September 24th, you're Libras. Pardon me. You know, I'm getting beside myself here. It's August the 23rd or 24th, not September, all right? At any rate, if you're a Virgo, then you're having opportunities right now for travel, to learn more about how to increase your profit margin. And I'm not necessarily referencing Virgo's sons either. It could be Virgo rising, which Virgo rises for 2 hours and 20-something minutes every single day. So there are a large portion of Virgos alive on the planet, more than there are Pisces or Aquarius rising. So the average person, you know, I would say like 8 out of 100 people born are Virgo rising. You see? That's 8.3% to be more close and right and exact. All right? So if you get sinus allergies or headaches, or if you have a scar on your face or head, the sun is in your 9th house now. So opportunities to expand your mental base with regard to increasing your profit margin, or business, or getting into new businesses, or acquiring transportation for such businesses, or engaging in business that involves transportation in any form is opportune for you right now. And after the day, you'll have 29 more days to nurture that into something tangible, okay? And take it even further than that. For those people who are Tauruses, Venus and Mars have entered your face. They have just confronted you. And you got an opportunity right now, and the muscle and the initiative and the drive and energy. However negative the influence that is pushing you to do so, however positive, is irrelevant. You right now have the energy, the gumption to get up and go. Don't wait, because Mars is letting you know you need to hurry up and do it. You need to get it done. You need to get it started while you have the energy, the resources, the assistance, or the backing now to engage in such activity. Those people who were born in December, real close to Christmas, right before or right after Christmas. The sun is shining your sun right now. An opportunity for investment, creative venture. You see, things that you bring about through your own hands, through your own work, through your own hard-earned money. It is time for you now to stop dilly-dallying with your Capricorn self, taking forever, and get it done now. You've been patient enough. You've built up enough. You need to start pushing it, right? That's just for the earth signs. We can move on, and we'll come back to the other signs later.
Phew, drop a ball.
I'll do something for the water signs, you know, after Chris get done flowing, if she gonna flow. You dig? After we take a few more calls, I'll drop something on the air signs. Then we'll come back to the fire signs and do it like that instead of all at once. You dig? I don't wanna bore them to death. You know?
Cosmo, Chris, you told him. I know you said you had something for them as far as on the when you came in to do the readings, but did you have something just like to warm them up with as far as like, you know, I think we talked offline about Venus transiting through their charts for those, you know, those medium level to high end astrologers and cosmo physicians who are listening in right now? Cosmo, Chris.
Okay, I'm here. Let's see here. So one thing to look into your chart is to find out the condition of your natal Venus. And the second ruler of your chart. And because the sun is lighting that up right now, we got the sun, Mars, and Venus all together transiting the sign of Taurus right now. So everything that we just went through, not everything, but a lot of what we just went through with the sun, Mars, and Venus going through Aries, which Aries was the initiative process. You know, pioneering and going in a new direction. Now it's time to grow what we started or what we initiated in the Aries season and solidify it. Because again, we're dealing with solid earth. We're dealing with fixed earth. So it's time to plant your seeds and solidify what we're working on. Now Mars, again, being in the sign of finance and values and stuff, rushing or Mars deals with bravery, because we talked about that during Aries season. Mars deals with bravery and being motivated to do things, motivated to pay attention to your finances, and also, with Venus being home, this is what I wanted to say. Venus is really flying through Taurus. I don't know if it's because Venus is so comfortable being home. It's like, oh man, I'm so happy to be here. But we only have another 20. Venus is going to stay in Taurus as a whole for 24 days. So it's traveling at a rate of like 1.25 degrees per day. So you have until let's see. We have until.
While you're looking it up, I want to add and tell you the planets move faster when they're closer to the sun. This is so for the moon and every other planet.
Got you. Okay, so
May is the last day. So on the 10th is going into Gemini.
May 9th, yeah. But I want
May 9th. Can you slow it down for me to my birthday? Like, can you hold it up for me to my birthday, please?
Say what? Do what now?
Can you keep Venus and Taurus until my birthday for me, please? Just this year.
So, Coach, you're going to need to be concerned when Venus conjuncts your Saturn. You should be focusing on that date right there with Saturn in opposition to Venus right now. That is the warning. You know, Saturn also deals with warning. In Scorpio, coming from me, across to you where you got your Saturn and the Sun at. You know,
So you need to take your time and analyze your situation, Virgo rising. But I didn't mean to interrupt you, Chris. Go ahead, Mama.
Oh, right. And also look at when Venus crosses over your sun degree as well, because that is the start of your solar chart too. And for everybody out there, when you put your sun on the ascendant or your solar degree on the ascendant, that is your solar chart too. So that is significant for when you're looking at transits as well. And any time that there is an exact aspect, and I mean exact, meaning down to the same degree of your natal planets, and this is why it's so important to learn your natal planets and know the degrees of those natal planets. Whenever planets make an exact aspect, it's like a bookmark that is created, or it's a chord that is being struck at that time. So you look at just like we look at the ascendant of when someone is born, you know, what time they were born, we look at what time a planet reaches the same the same degree as our natal planets, and see what's rising, because that'll tell the tale of what that is doing in your chart. So for Coach, for example, look at when Venus crosses over your sun, when it conjuncts your sun exactly. And what degree is your sun?
26 degrees. And that
26 degrees.
Right.
So when Venus reaches 26 degrees, then you look at what is rising in that chart. And look at where that rising sign sits in your birth chart. So if it, say for instance, and I'll just do it real quick. So Venus, I don't know what minute your solar degree is, but Venus reaches.
Hold on, Chris, I wanted to throw this in because you went in so hard on the 26th over on KTL the other night. And if anybody missed Cozmo Chris world premiere on KTL and you don't know what happened with the Boston Massacre, then you don't want to know. You go over to Noodlehead Radio and look for it, download it. Her and Ra'aku lit it up. And I just came in, I just swept up. I just got the fallout. I didn't do anything. I just came over there and said peace, and it was bananas. But talking about the 26, and now I've always knew that I had the 26 degree, but now I'm looking at the minutes. My minute is, I'm 26 degrees, 26 minutes. I graduated in 88. So I got a double 88 in my chart, and I graduated in 88. So continue.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, wait a minute. So, let's see here. I got to put this. Why do I have this?
I think it's May the 12th.
Yeah. But I need to put, well, okay, you could do this on your own, because I was going to do it real quick for you, but I don't have your chart in Atlanta where you are, because that matters, because you need to see what rising sign is, what degree, what is rising at the time of the exact conjunction. So when Venus reaches 26 degrees, look at what's rising. For instance, if it is, let's say if it's Sag rising, at that time. Well, Sag is your fourth house, your natal fourth house. So that Venus conjunction is going to deal with some domestic issue or a family issue or a living situation, dealing with your roots, your heritage. Any of that stuff will come to the fore because of that exact conjunction. Okay, and again, we're dealing with the fourth house would be your, close to your IC as well. So it's something about your foundation or your deepest foundation. So that's just one technique that you guys can utilize when you see planets moving. And if you don't have a program like Solar Fire, you can just look on astro.com and see where the transits are, because it's right on the front page. When you go to astro.com, you'll see where the current planets, the placement of the planets, and you have to learn the symbols for the planets and the symbols for the signs for all the novices out there. And then you can do your own cosmophysics. You know, take control of your life, so that you can be aware and take the opportunities when it comes, because we're talking about opportunities. You know.
I do want to go ahead and give out Cosmo Chris's number, because that's who I called, and I called Ra'aku. So, you know, you can't try this by yourself, but, you know, from my old Christian background, Proverbs 3:5, lean not on your own understanding, call a Cosmocrat. That's the line for today. Lean not on your own and call a Cosmocrat. Her number is 215-370-0741, 215-370-0741. You can catch her at www.thecosmoreport.com. She's also Kristen Littles on Facebook. You can catch Ra'aku. His phone number is 516-881-6992, 516-881-6992. Please call between 12 and 6 p.m. to schedule appointments. That's not when he does all his readings, because I've seen the brother do a reading for somebody in Australia where he was up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, like, I got to go do this reading in Australia. So he will work around your schedule. So please check him out. I don't have Darren's number or Marco's number ready, but I will give it out before the end of the night. Coach K's number, and I'll pull up Marco in just a second. My number is 336-587-1215, 336-587-1215. You can catch me at Coach K appointments, or you can catch me also on Facebook, where I'm showing. Marco's number is 716-563-4354, 716-563-4354. And, of course, my main man, D. Brown, I'm getting ready to pull him up for y'all as well. And not just the planet Venus either, but also the planet Jupiter right now is a good combination effect. You know, I do see Marco in the background. There he is, pop up in the building. All right, somebody's over there chopping it up. The Cosmocrat is over there chopping it up with Marco. My man Darren Brown, y'all can catch him over in St. Louis. His phone number is 314-565-8907, 314-565-8907. All right? So, Marco, I just opened your mic up. You live and direct if you want to get it in with us tonight. It's been a fabulous show, man. I'm just really happy. Everybody is, you know what I'm saying, popping collars tonight. We didn't get a chance to talk about the planet Jupiter and Venus. You know, I'm not saying they don't have like an aspect, because they're like right next door to each other, so they don't have a conjunction, or they don't have a, you know, they don't have a sextile, or they don't have an opposition, but you can still look at the timeline. One of the main key things that Ra'aku gave y'all a duel tonight. I mean, he gave y'all a crazy duel tonight. Let me then drop a gong on that.
It's awesome, baby!
Learn your timeline. Take a ruler and draw a straight line, put 0 on one end, put 29 on the other, and then put your planets on there. Don't worry about the signs, but just put down the planets that are on there. So let's say, like Cosmo Chris said, even if Venus was going to hit 26 degrees in another sign, so next month Venus is going to hit 26 degrees in Gemini. Well, I'll know what day that's going to affect me, because I know that I have my sun at 26 degrees Taurus, okay? I mean, this is going to just open up so much of your chart to you by just doing your timeline. You can find so many fundamental opportunities, like Hotep said, be an unashamed opportunist. That's really what all of us are here. If you know your timeline, you'll be like, oh, man, Mars is at 26 degrees Sagittarius. Well, how does that affect me? Because my sun's at 26, so I'm getting some of that energy. So please do the investigation. And let's go ahead and pop some collars. Y'all get ready to call in. I'm getting ready to talk to my man Marco for a hot second and see what he feels about the show tonight. I want to hear some of that science on how he feels about Venus going into Taurus. But the call-in number is 215-6592, 347-215-6592. Press 1 if you're ready to get your mini reading. I already got some people in line already, so don't rush. But if you got a comment, question, or feedback about the show, but please come on and press 1. Let's get this pre-after party started. Marku, what's the science, Lord?
The science is Cozmo physics. I listened to the entire show. I like, if I had to guess, Dr. Delbert Blair's birthday that I could try. But I like what he had to say. I heard a little bit of his messages on the YouTube and whatnot. I like what he's got to talk about the cosmic energy aspect. Interested more in those diodes. And the entrepreneur part as well, being a Scorpio rising and Saturn on my ascendant. I was resonating with that a little bit. Cozmo lit it up with the rudimentaries. I see her going hard in the kitchen. She definitely dropped some jewels with that. I would like to do a spin, an Allen Iverson spin, off of the number line chart and what I've seen through my visual of the transitory or the present planets and how they move and how they make aspects or how they rub our natal planets or your birth chart planets, which has been emphasized so many times here at this show throughout the weeks. But what I see is that this full moon is not your average full moon. It's an eclipse, you see, and the pulse that this eclipse, this lunar eclipse is going to have so close to Saturn and the node, those people who are making entrepreneur missions and about business, everybody on the planet is going to get an extreme caution pulse, to make sure you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's and you're taking caution before you step into the water, which is a sign of Scorpio where things get fixed. We step into the Taurus season dealing about our values and our possessions, was said with Mars and Venus there. So a lot of our future comforts, and having to put limits and restrictions on ourselves, and to restrict the emotions and the feelings of being out in the desert with nothing to drink, still pressing on to your mission, what it is that you're trying to do until you find the oasis. And that's what this eclipse has a lot to do with, and visualizing what it is that we're trying to do or what we're creating. Seeing a picture, because the eclipse makes a 120-degree aspect. Learning your number line, I want to add that learning the number line in your own chart, will help you change your entire life and how you look at the present motion of the planets and where the moon is. You recognize a certain type of energy. I was driving down the street today, and I recognized that Cozmo physics is starting to get into the bloodstream of my child, and she started seeing all these red things and saying, Mars, 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 and just, recognizing how Mars just jumped into Taurus. Is that the shows, or is that the energy of the planet Mars in the same sign as her sun sign and her recognizing it? But, to stick to the point, the number line and this eclipse that's coming up. And before the eclipse, the moon is going to make an opposition to Mercury and Uranus. So it gives us our focus and ingenuity around some of these difficulties and these burdens or these delays and whatnot, and the ability to plan around them. So it's not all bad for those who are prepared for the storm. If there's a winter storm coming, you're going to turn up the heat or get more logs in your house. So that's partly part of the wheel that I see. Am I still heard?
Yeah.
No, he ain't dropped, Coach. I was trying to get at you in the background, man.
Oh, my bad. All right. Go ahead, Marco.
Marco, you finished?
Yeah, I'm finished. That's my piece.
We can't do what? What are we doing?
What we're doing in Marco, are you still dropping it? Because I was in the back talking to Ra. I want to bring Darren in next. Matter of fact,
bring Darren in. I dropped my piece.
All right, appreciate that. Hold on. You know what I got to do for that? Look a shot.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Y'all put y'all hands together for my man D. Brown is in the building.
What's up, Coach? You are cool. Christian and everybody doing that. What's going on, y'all?
Ain't nothing to it. Ain't nothing but another hustler just walked up in the room. Holla at your boy about his Venus and Taurus. Get at me.
Peace, Lord.
Hey, what's up? Venus and Taurus, man. Look, the number line that we're talking about is key with this. I use this every single day. I use my own number line every single day, and with this Venus and Taurus, if you know your chart, you know your own natal chart, and if you have personal planets in an earth sign or a water sign, this is an opportunity for you to plant seeds for financial growth. This is also a time for planting seeds for expansion or for manifesting goodness in relationships, all right? Taking care of the home. This is time for planting seeds. Now, I say planting seeds because Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus is an earth sign, and earth is fertile. Taurus is among the most fertile signs in the zodiac, all right? So when your number line comes across the ascendant, when your personal planet in whatever earth sign or water sign comes across the ascendant, this is the time to put in some work to manifest whatever it is you desire on a material side or on a relationship side. For instance, I'll give you a personal example of how this works for me. Just a few days ago, you know, everybody, I tell these stories every week. I drive a taxi, and on Thursday, was it Thursday? On Thursday or Friday, I'm sitting at a spot. My phone rings just as my Mars degree, 15 degrees Pisces is my Mars degree. All right, but the degree that was rising was Leo. It's not in Pisces. It was Leo. Still, it was my degree. My phone rang for a fare. All right, my phone rang. The guy wanted to get picked up and be taken somewhere. I go to get this guy. Now, bear with me, guys. I'm really, really tired. I'm working off of a little bit of sleep, so my mind ain't working like it normally does. I pick this guy up. He gets in the car, and he tells me, we start talking, and he's telling me that he works in a hospital. Again, my Mars degree is 15 degrees Pisces. Pisces rules hospitals. Mars is men, you know, and this was a fairly nice fare. So my point in bringing that up is when your personal planet degree is coming across the ascendant, this is the time to make a move, to make some changes in your life, positive changes in your life. Now, if you have personal planets that are squared by this Venus, this is the time to set up yourself for contraction, for loss. Protect yourself against loss. Insulate yourself against loss. Insulate yourself against restrictions and delays and things of that nature. It's very important to know the diurnal when you're using this, and we've talked ad nauseum on the show about the diurnal. So, in my unusual rambling form here, this is what I have to say about this.
Know your number line, and if you got planets in earth signs and water signs, personal planets in earth signs and water signs, you can make some positive changes in your life by making positive moves based on the energy that Venus brings into your life. You can make some changes. And don't expect these things to manifest quickly because, again, Taurus is about slow, stable growth. It's not going to happen fast like it did in Aries. It's not going to happen fast like it will in Gemini. It's going to be a slow thing. It's going to be something that you have to stick to it and work hard at it, and eventually it'll come. But this is the time to put in the work. Again, plant these seeds right now. Plant whatever seed it is you desire in your life. Plant these seeds right now and focus on that day that Venus hits that degree in your chart. If it's 9 degrees, work on it tomorrow. If it's 10 degrees, in 2 days. Even if it's 1, 2, or 3 degrees or 7 degrees, you still got time because Venus is still in Taurus. Although it's not going to be as strong, you still got time. All right, that's all I have to say about that, y'all.
Nah, hold on. Don't try to get away. Don't try to get away because, you know, Coach, I'm coming to the callers, man. Y'all go ahead and start pressing 1. Y'all go ahead and start lining up. Come on, let's get in, you know, because y'all know the order. I see 4 people already smart enough to press 1 and know what the deal is. So you telling me that on my timeline, I'm looking for when Venus, so let's say my ascendant is at 15 degrees. I'm looking for when Venus touches 15 degrees.
You're damn right. That's right. That's right.
Wow.
You can work it now. You can work it now. However, and you know, this is something else I've seen. 2 degrees either side of that degree point, it works. It's like magic. 2 degrees either side of your degree point, it works. That degree is the strongest, but it still works. 2 degrees either side. So really, you got like a 5-day window to work with. Whew. It's like magic, man. It's like cheating. I promise you, it's like cheating. I see it happen every single day.
I wanna elaborate a little bit on what Darren.
I had to do that because if Darren goes first and then Rock getting ready to jump on top of it and y'all ain't got no pencil and paper out, y'all playing with yourself. I should play a song and just make y'all sit on the edge of y'all chair, but I want to hear what he got to say, too. Please be writing this down. Please download this show. These brothers is going into Warp Zone 9 right now. Go on and hit it, Rob.
All right, what I wanted to elaborate on was some details that I feel that need to be highlighted with regard to what Chris said and with regard to what Darren said, all right? First, I'm going to touch on what Chris referenced when she said the second ruler. We're referencing the second house ruler, and I know there are people out there that do not know what that means or why it's even significant, all right? When you are looking at a specific area of your life, then you need to identify which sign sits on the house that deals with that area of life that you are investigating. Okay? Today we're referencing finances and money. Earned money, received money, spent money, profit, gain, and or loss. Okay? This is what we're looking at. Because traditionally Venus is the planet that indicates money, especially when she's in the sign of money, which is Taurus. All right? This means that wherever Taurus sits in your chart, Venus is coming to bless that area of your life. And through that area of life, you have a potential to make some income over the next 30 days or so. Specifically when Venus reaches those degrees in your chart that match your Jupiter, your Venus degree, or the second house ruler degree. Now, if you're in Aries, your second house ruler is Venus. If you're in Aries rising, it is the case. When I say the sign, this pertains to ascending signs and sun signs. If you are Taurus, then Mercury is your money planet. If you're a Gemini, then the moon is your money planet. If you are Leo, then the sun is your money planet. Pardon me. No, I skipped something. If you are Gemini, the moon is your money planet. If you are Cancer, the sun is your money planet.
If you're a Leo, Mercury again is your money planet because it is the ruler of Virgo. All right? If your second house, if you are a Virgo riser, then you have Libra on your second cusp. Venus is the ruler of Libra, and therefore Venus would then again be your money planet. If you are a Libra riser, Scorpio sits in your money house. Pluto is your money indicator. If you are a Sag rising, if you are a Scorpio rising, Sagittarius sits on your second cusp, and Jupiter is your money planet. If you're a Sag rising, then Capricorn sits in your money house, and Saturn is the identifier of the condition of your finances, your money. If you are a Capricorn rising, then Aquarius is the ruler of your money, and Uranus is the indicator, or what you would say, as you learned in school here in the United States, if you were here in the United States, Uranus. But it's Uranus. And if you are an Aquarius rising, then Pisces is your money house, and Neptune is the indicator of money in your chart. And if you are an Aries rising, if you are a Pisces rising, then Aries is your money house, and Mars is the ruler of your money, the indicator of your money. Now, what you're looking for are planets that match that degree that you have your money planet at. I have my money planet at 7 degrees. Venus opposed my money planet yesterday, right? Consequently, I don't even want to say how much money I made, but I made more than I normally do, all right? Because Venus rules the opposition aspect, all right? So I was looking for something negative to occur because usually oppositions bring, situations that you don't want to deal with, situations that are unpalatable. Well, I couldn't find one worthy of referencing as impalatable, and all I could point to was the fact that I made twice as much money than I normally do, okay? Now, this is the importance of the number line, especially for you beginners, because you're constantly mulling through books and asking experienced cosmophysicians or astrologers what this means, what that means, what does Venus on my cusp mean, what does Venus trining my moon degree mean. If you observe your number line every day, you'll learn what the planets mean for you specifically. Better than any astrologer could ever tell you. You see? When the sun shines your Mars, these are excellent days. These are heightened energy days, whether you're experiencing the energy of another person or your very own. And being able to bear witness to that is like the total miracle of this science that makes this science miraculous in the first place. It gets to the point where you're looking at it not because you don't believe it, but because you can't believe it. You see, I still can't believe how accurate the motion of the planets by degree operate in your life. And the experience that you undergo will resonate and echo the attributes and keywords of the planet that is being aspected. All right? So for those of you who don't understand aspects, like Chris said, whenever a planet reaches the same degree in the current sky or the progressed sky to a planet in your birth chart, it activates that. It brings that energy to the fore. It brings it right to your disposal. And 9 times out of 10, the average human being hasn't studied how to make the best of these energies. Okay? And this is what the science is for. Not to just know that you're having a Mars, not to just know Venus is aspecting your sun degree, but to understand how you can begin to use these things to permanently improve yourself and your into a major position.
Once again, an unashamed opportunist.
Well, let me elaborate a little bit further, all right? And then I'm gonna let Chris say something, all right? When Darren spoke about Pisces, his Mars being a Pisces, that's a natal promise. And because the sign that was rising formed a quincunx, or a first to the 6th house aspect, it was an opportunity, it was a job opportunity for him, a service opportunity, because of the nature of that aspect. After you understand where your planets are, and you see the attributes of these planets being kicked off when other planets come into aspect to it, then you can begin to understand the nature of the aspect. okay? Because you have what we call, we only reference them as good or bad because it represents the easy flow or the difficult combination of the energy. So we got easy aspects or harmonious aspects or so-called good aspects. That's all one area. Then we have what they say is bad aspects or uneasy aspects or turbulent aspects. And these things bring difficulty, trial, loss, inhibition, obstacles, and you must use discipline, tolerance, steadfastness, and patience to deal with them. These are the ups and downs of life. So you begin to understand that when you watch the sun move through your number line, okay? Today, right now, the sun is at 2 degrees or is about to be at 2 degrees. So if you have a planet anywhere from 1 degree, between 1 and 3 degrees, you can see that energy manifest very strongly in your chart. When Coach said, don't worry about what sign it is, I agree with him, don't worry. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't concern yourself with understanding what signs it are. When you compose your number line, you got 0 through 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the numbers down to 29. You put all of your planets, any of the planets that you have at, let's say, the 5th degree. Let's say you have 3 planets at the 5th degree. So you have Mercury, the Sun, and Mars there. Then Mercury goes next to number 5 with the sign that it's in, with the symbol for the sign that it's in. Then the Sun goes next to number 5 on your number line, right next to Mercury, with the sign that it is in. And then the next planet with the sign that it is in. And you fill your number line in just like this. Now you are in a position to easily spot through numerical order what the course of events are going to be throughout your life, every day for the rest of your life. This is the first step in what we call predictive astrology, using either transit or progression, right? Take it one day at a time. We can watch the moon every day, move every 2.5 days, move throughout your entire number line. And you can mark down what happened at a specific time. You notice something happened, just write it down. And then go back and pull up the chart for that time and look and find where every single planet was and what aspects they were forming to the planets in your birth chart, with how close they were. And the signs will begin to unfold for you. See? Because it's not enough that you study books all day long. I can study books on heart surgery from now until Kingdom Come, until I get my hands on a specimen and actually see what it's like to bear witness to cutting it open and looking at a beating heart. And the experience is what's going to actually teach me, right? The reading prepares me. So with that, I'm going to pass it on over to Chris right now.
May I interject before Chris take over?
Certainly.
No. Just kidding. Good.
Listen, it is imperative that we know our birth chart. It is imperative that we commit it to memory. All right? Knowing your birth chart and understanding how the timeline works and understanding the diurnal and the fact that it takes approximately 4 minutes for a degree to ascend, you can predict to the minute, an event. I promise you, and I'll give you an example. On the same Friday, I was chatting with a friend, and I was telling this friend what was going on in my life at that time and what I thought was going to happen based on my understanding of all the things I just mentioned. So she asked, well, what will I be doing when the moon comes across the ascendant? Me having a little knowledge of her background and her environment, so, well, when the moon comes across your ascendant in 52 minutes, sometime 8 minutes either side of 12:54, one of two things are going to occur in your life. Either you will be dealing with a woman or your mother, or you will be nursing your child. 45 minutes pass by. She writes me and says, at 12:59, I nursed my son. 5 minutes after the time I gave her the window, 8 minutes either side of 12:54, 12:59, she was nursing her son. just like I predicted. This thing works like magic, and without having knowledge of all the things I said, you won't be able to do it. So for all of those people who are out here studying and trying to learn this thing, memorize, commit your chart to memory. Commit your chart to memory.
And the hits just keep on coming.
It's awesome, baby!
Tell them again, Darren.
Commit the chart to memory. That is the best textbook. That is the best astrological textbook one can have. Learning and studying own chart, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. It's better than any book you're going to buy in any bookstore. It's better than any book any has ever written. Because that is your particular book, unique to you and you alone.
How are you going to speak?
I want to do a big shout out. I want a big shout out to Jay Water. You may be new to the chat room over here in the chat. His question is, does anyone know how to figure out the rising sign without the time of birth? Absolutely. Absolutely. A real Cozmo physician does. You know, you in the place, bro. Now, I don't know if anybody in the chat room can do it. I know Cozmo Chris is in there. She can do it. But your average other astrologers don't know how to do it. So you're going to have to come see a Cosmocrat to get that done. So if you want to, for us to try to narrow it down for you, can call in tonight and press 1. We are doing money readings tonight. I've been waiting a long time to say that. Damn it, get in the sun, get in Taurus, and I get a little more option around here. I love it. Yeah. And look, somebody running in here talking about I want a money reading and whatnot, all up in the house all day, mentioning I want a money reading. I feel you. Well, don't nobody press 1, then you can get one. But, yes, we do have people who have pressed 1. If you want to get your hustle read on the night, you want to know where some of these strengths are, please press 1, and we will bring you on the line and see what's calculating. I'm getting ready to go in, and, oh, man, did I just lose somebody?
Wait a minute. I still have something to say.
Okay, go ahead. Swift, Chi, you first, so press 1 back again, please. But go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so just piggybacking off of what Rod and Darren said, Venus oppositions do not always hurt. It's not a negative thing. An opposition, yes, but the fact that it's a Venus opposition, number one, Venus is a natural indicator of sharing, or, you know, the aspect in the chart between the first house and the 7th house is the opposition. It's the balance. That's why Venus, Libra, and all that is associated with the balance. You know, me and you, sharing aspect. Now, when you have a Venus opposition, a lot of times that can indicate that you're sharing with someone, or, you know, there's a commitment factor that is involved in whatever the nature of that Venus opposition is, you know, the planets that are involved. And so when Rod said that he couldn't see anything negative about what took place with Venus opposing his sun, well, you got to consider the natal promise as well, because Venus is in the 2nd house of his sun. And we're talking about the 2nd house being the financial aspect and being able to provide for oneself, or income that comes in. And the sun in his chart is the ruler of his 2nd house, if y'all can follow me. The sun is the ruler of his 2nd house, and Venus is in his natal chart, Venus is in the 2nd house of his sun. So his sun being in Scorpio, his Venus being in Sag. So by him having that Venus opposition, it was just a trigger to say, boom, you can make some money today. So that's just one aspect that, again, you have to learn your natal chart to see what these aspects, when these planets make these movements, how it's going to affect your chart.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Some of y'all going to have to rewind that, I'm sure, because I know I am. I was following, but, you know, she was rolling over there. She was in her flow. So that's why you got to get in contact with the sister. You know what I'm saying? Let her add some champagne to your campaign. Rod, did you want to add something on top of that? Your phone's on mute. I got you unmuted.
All right. I was just waiting. I'm waiting to get to the readings, man. You know, I see somebody called me in the chat, Misha. So I was trying to get at him in the chat, but we can do it over the air, no problem. You know.
All right.
I know as many people want to know about where their money is and what their money is doing and where they're gonna get some money at soon. Our line should be lit up.
Look, this should be the second most. I don't know. I got a running joke about it, but everybody's always asking about who they match up with. When they my sign is so and so. How do I do with Scorpios? You should be asking who can I make some money with. So I'm gonna just go ahead and leave that alone right now. Let me get to this first caller from the 917-528. Your microphone is wide open. Where you calling from tonight?
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Chi. I'm calling in from Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm looking to get a short reading for my mom, who's here. Say hi, Mom.
Hi, greetings to everyone.
Peace.
And I just wrote her, I just put down her number line while you guys are talking. So I have the 0 to 29 degrees lined up, and Venus in the 6th house.
Can you share the birthday, please?
Oh, sorry. June 30th, 1950. That's 50, and the time is 8:40 p.m. And she resides in Brooklyn, New York.
June. What'd you say? June what?
30th.
And the time?
19 what?
8:40 p.m.
1950.
Yes.
8:40 p.m. Resides in the BK. Rob, we're gonna let you go ahead and help Mother Earth out tonight.
Well, first I need to know: has she ever had any issue with her lower digestive tract? That's the large intestine, colon, appendix, or?
Yes. I was actually.
Okay, that's all I need is a yes. That's all I need is a yes, Mama.
Okay, yes.
Right?
Definitely.
Her second ruler is Pisces, and it's posited by Jupiter. It's dignified, or it's strengthened, all right? Because it's squaring her Venus degree, I could say there was a time when she was quite the spendthrift, okay? And she would have had to, get over her habitual spending, or how you say, money burning a hole in her pocket, because she likes to go all out when she goes shopping. But at this point, all of those things are being dissolved. I would like to elaborate on her health if it isn't too personal. She's going through some issues right now regarding her health, hospital bills and things of this nature, or insurance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then it's time for her to face those things. I don't know what she has done or not done, and I'd have to look very deeply at this chart. But she has Saturn in opposition to her Jupiter and Venus in the square that. What this indicates is now she looks back on a lot of the money that she has spent through the course of her life and wishes she had saved some of that. All right? Any and all resources that she could use to bring that financial assistance would behoove her. Because in the next few years, the situation can get quite expensive with regards to hospital bills or medication costs. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jupiter is in Gemini right now, so she has the benefit of her children or her firstborn child, okay? But there's no guarantee because I don't know what their situation is like, okay? But with Saturn in opposition to her Jupiter and now with Venus trining it, this is an opportunity for her to get some assistance with that regard.
some assistance that she's either been waiting on or putting off.
Okay.
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 Unless you got a question, real quick.
Yeah. I'm about to practice what I've learned so far, but she has an event May 9th, and that's when Venus is going to be transiting into Gemini.
Okay, well, that'll be a Venus return for her, and that's an opportunity to make good, especially through contacts and communications and or correspondences. And perhaps a family member if they're still active in her life, right? Right? Anything dealing with communication, signatures, correspondence papers, books, magazines, periodicals, newspapers, or anything that deals with the transference of information, she has an opportunity to make good on. And she needs to be proactive with that regard, especially if it involves people that are in an institution or have something to do with an institution that deals with caregiving or hospital care.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, I just want to thank you very much, and I've
You're
enjoyed
welcome.
listening to the program.
You're welcome very much, and please keep listening.
Peace.
Okay, thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And you know, since Cozmo Physics works hand in hand with symptometry, we want to go ahead and encourage Mom Dukes to go ahead and reach out to Dr. Nardi or Dr. Abbott as soon as possible so we can stay out of them hospital bills. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to make a bunch of money and then hustle backwards and have to give it to Mr. Charlie at the hospital. You know, we got some alternative means of healing over here, so please reach out, give your mom Dr. Abbott's phone number or Dr. Nardi's phone number, and let's keep this thing popping. Next caller we got up from the 317-721. The microphone is wide open. How you doing tonight? Welcome to Cozmo Physics Radio.
Thank you very much. I am doing excellent. This is Sunshine Carpenter. Hey, Coach in the Cozmo Physics family.
Peace, peace.
Peace. And I want my money reading.
You want your regular money or you want some Illuminati money? You want Illuminati money or you want regular money?
I want all money. Whatever title it falls under, give me the whole shebanging. But
What's
I'll
your birthday?
definitely take April 6th, 1966.
All right. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
What time were you born?
That hasn't been nailed down, but my mom told me between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m.
And you're in Atlanta, Georgia?
I am.
Cosmo, Chris, we're doing boy, girl tonight. It's on you. Un momento, por favor.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Let me bring up Atlanta. Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. Now let's see here. Ooh, you got Venus and Aquarius. Let's see. Atlanta, Georgia, 4/6/66 at between 4 and 5. Have you ever had issues with your lower back, kidneys, gallbladder? I mean, your bladder infection, anything like that? Growing up.
Gallbladder has been removed, and I have back issues. Have had back issues from being in an accident back in the 80s.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Mars is the ruler of your second house, and that means you, my dear, if you haven't learned how to hold on to your money and not be so impulsive with it, then that is a lesson that you need to learn now. And you just had all this activity going through your second house over the last month and some change. You had a lot of activity where you spending money impulsively or bills popping out of nowhere that you were frustrated about spending or paying on?
Somewhat. I'm currently, just transitioned into unemployment, and I had a big issue with having to go through an appeal to get paid. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, with Venus being in your 12th house as well, you are, I'll tell you where you can benefit from getting money. In terms of artistic ventures, creative, like poetry, songwriting, and even dealing with computers, graphics, dealing with social networks is key. Making money through the computer or through your friends. You know, if you have any creative ideas that, because it's going to be in regards to your creativity, because you got the sun conjunct your your second ruler, and you have, and your sun is in the second house. So it's based on your natural talents. You know, do you have any experience with doing things with the face or head, like not necessarily, doing hair or anything like that?
None other than with my children, but I am in pre-launch of my business, which is Life Ingredients, and I will be marketing that through the internet.
Okay.
And I am having to use a lot of creativity with it.
Okay, and you said it's called what? It's called
Life Ingredients.
Life Ingredients. Interesting.
Yes.
So, so when you say Life Ingredients, I mean, are you creating like recipes for people to how they can go about their what?
Creating their life, basically.
Okay.
Yes.
But creating the life that they dream of, or
correct.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I actually specialize in developing a system, and especially if you have a start date for your business, developing a system of how you can go about marketing your business, finding a niche market, all of that stuff. I do specialize in that based on your chart. So, if you want to contact me off the air in regards to that, I can help you out with that. But yeah, definitely doing things through social networking, it will be a major key for you, having that Venus in Aquarius and in the 12th house. A lot of times you have to keep your ideas in terms of how you're going about making money behind closed doors. You got to keep that secret, which you don't have a problem with doing. Not letting everybody know how much you got, what you're working with. That is to your best interest to do that. And even ideas that come to you in your sleep, or when you wake up with an idea that you may have dreamed on, or when you go into meditative states, you can have some things come through as far as, how you can go about making more money. Now let's see, what else here? And communication is a major thing, because your second ruler and your Venus are in a sextile aspect. So that's the communication aspect. Communication, reaching out to people in your neighborhood, or going through your siblings, people that you grew up with would be key. Also, let me see. Yeah, just really building your network, passing out cards, flyers, any type of thing any type of communication that's on paper, that would be key.
Okay.
And you're a trendsetter. You're a trendsetter as well. I mean, all that Aries energy, definitely a trendsetter. you have a knack for doing things in a unique way. You know, you're brave in how you go about things. You know, people may be like, what? That's interesting or weird or that's different, you know, but then later on, once it works out, then they see like, wow, she really did that, you know. So, you know, have confidence in that.
Thank you. I actually just started my Blog Talk radio show this month.
Oh, perfect. Then that will really help you. That would really help you. Yeah. All righty. That's all I got for you right now.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I'll get your contact information as well and see what's going to be popping.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Peace and blessings.
Yeah. Get them sunshine. Go get that Illuminati money, baby. Hashtag everybody Illuminati money. Hashtag Cozmo361 Illuminati money. Let's get it. You're on Twitter. Hashtag Cool. Hashtag Cozmo Chris. Let's come on, man. Let's get this social media game popping. Next caller from the 202-425. Your microphone is wide open. How you doing tonight? Where are you calling from? Hello? Man, we got so many people. If you want to get this money tonight, you got to answer up. Caller from the 202-425. Your mic is open. Going once. Going twice. Thank you so much. We were trying to get some of that money in your pocket. We got an international. Caller from the 447-904. Your mic is wide open. Thank you. And where are you calling from tonight? Hello?
Hello?
Like you say, yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, right. I didn't realize I was on. Hi there.
Hi there.
Okay. Hi, Coach.
Yes. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, thanks. First time I've actually been on the air, so I happen to be awake. So, my name's Mags. I'm calling from London. Just thought I'd call in and say hi. And since you're talking about money, I'll hear what you guys have to say.
All right. When is your birthday?
2nd of the 8th, 1963.
Can you give me, you said the 2nd of August?
Yes, that's right.
August the 8th, 1968? 63.
Yeah.
And do you know what time you were born?
Yeah, it's verified at 6:59 a.m.
When you say verified, is that by a Cozmo physician?
Yep.
All right. And this is, when we're looking for the country, would this be, what, Great Britain?
Oh, London, UK.
All right. Un momento, por favor. That's always going to fall up under the UK, though. And you are in London. All righty. Have you ever had any injury to the head or some kind of scar on your head?
On the back of my head, yes.
All right. So that would put you at a Leo rising, which would make Virgo on your second would put.
I was Virgo rising at 5 degrees. Ascendant.
Oh, my fault. It switched to the Wales, and I tried to put in England. Excuse me. It's still giving me Leo at 27. If that's the right time. I'm getting the Leo at 27 degrees. London, August the 8th, 1963.
2nd of August.
Excuse me?
2nd of August, 1963.
I'm gonna just call on my mentor here. Ross? She says she's been told 5 degrees Virgo, and I'm pulling up 28 degrees Leo. The Cozmo crack. Can you take your phone off?
Well, are you in daylight savings time? Add an hour. Add an hour to it.
All right.
Yeah. And are you in London?
Yep.
No, I mean, is he in London? Does he have the chart?
All right.
How you doing, Mama?
I'm good. I haven't spoken to you for a while, Ra. I will be.
Yeah, okay. I hope you got lesson number 1 down pat.
You up?
Coach, did you relocate it, or did you add an hour to it?
I added an hour, and that took it to Virgo rising.
Okay, do your thing.
All right. Got the pressure's on tonight. I'm gonna start with the transiting Venus is coming through your 9th house. So here we're looking at international travel. We're also looking at higher education, looking at philosophy. We're looking at life purpose. You know, you probably have been, well, now, and this is also the seeing time of the year, so there's probably been some insight coming to your particular purpose. Am I close with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't want you to think. I want you to say yeah or no. You know what I'm saying? If you've been considering that, or this is the time for it.
Yes, I have been thinking about international travel in the very, very near future. And in terms of philosophy and things, I've been doing a lot of study in that area, even studying, the astrology as well.
Do you have me on speakerphone or like a headset or something? Because it's like
sorry. Yeah, hold one sec. Sorry, my sounding really awful. One sec. I got better.
While you're doing that, you also have Jupiter transiting your 10th house. So whatever this purpose is, that like this insight, use it immediately to fuel your Jupiter transit as it comes through your 10th house, because anything that you put out right now can help you in the public eye. So you get who am I in the 9th house as far as like your purpose that you're going through now, but in the 10th house is what are you known for. So these insights, apply them immediately, because like Cosmo Chris said, Venus is moving through very quickly. So this period of insight about purpose for money and travel is moving very quickly. So when you get the insight, apply it. But breathe first. That's that Saturn opposition, and your Saturn is also conjuncting your Neptune right now. So that kind of stables your thoughts and your desires, which is a good thing. Don't think that Saturn coming through as a conjunction with with a particular planet is bad. It can help regulate it, because Neptune and Scorpio could get a little out there as far as like fantasizing or going down maybe even into deep forms of depression, whatever your particular visualization is. So with Saturn there, it can stabilize it. As far as your 2nd house ruler, that would be, since Libra rules your 2nd house, this gives me the most problems. Libra's ruled by Mercury because it's an air sign. So Mercury is your money planet.
No, it is not. Venus is her money planet. Look at her Venus and ascertain the natal aspect and then what's going on with it now.
Venus is in her natal aspect. Venus is in your 11th house in Leo. Have you been thinking about like organizations. You got some money like dealing with organizations. It's always been there, how you relate to groups of people, and you need to be the leader. Because Venus in relationships, Venus and Leo is you being the leader. And you are a leader because you are a Leo. So the lioness and hunting, you don't have any time to say, well, I'm shy about it, you know. And I catch a lot of people, lionesses, talking about, well, I just don't want to offend anyone or whatever. It's not about offending people. There's windows of opportunity that don't stay open forever. So now's the time. If you've been waiting on something, here it is again. Especially, like I said, with Jupiter coming through your 10th house, take that notoriety and that popularity. You only get that every 12 years. And everybody answers the same way. Can you wait 12 more years for this opportunity to come back around? So that's my piece on that. I don't know if anybody else wants to come in and add on to that.
Well, it's awesome, baby.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, was I helpful? I'd like to know, was I helpful? Was what I shared, was that helpful?
It is helpful. I'm sort of trying to learn this myself. You know, I listen to the shows every week, but sort of in the past, because I'm never usually up. And so it's good to actually have a perspective I can't see because I'm still learning. I do have a question, though. Venus is actually about to square my sun, my sun, because my sun is at 9 degrees. What does that say? Is that a good thing?
That says right there that you should be cautious and not overindulging in any type of sensual activity. You know, and it has nothing to do with sex. It has everything to do with, you know, overspending on luxury, you know, on creature comforts and things of that nature. So now is the time when you should be saving money because Venus, which is your money, is not in favorable aspect to your sun degree, which is your life purpose, your life being, your very essential being. So it would behoove you at this time to be a little bit conservative in the economic department, as well as patient and tolerant in the relationship department, because it is the ruler of Libra, you know. And you have opportunity for growth and expansion with it moving into Taurus. But because that's the 9th house, that points to overindulgence again, so and sensual appetite. So, you know, take a break, you know, if you're overeating or if you're spending too much money on food, you know, cut back, budget. That's what the Venus square the sun is indicative of.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So that means that I'm not getting any. I'm more likely got the energies to spend it, really.
Well, be conservative in the economic department. Be conservative with your economy until Venus moves out of that square into the next sign. Okay. You dig?
Cool.
It not only squares your sun degree, it squares your Venus degree too. Didn't he just say you have Venus in Leo?
Well, yeah, but it's past it now because it's not, let's see, Venus is at 8 degrees now. So it's approaching my sun at 9. But I've got a 1 degree Venus.
And what's your Venus degree?
1 degree.
Okay, so it's past it, but it ain't over. It's still there by sign. So, you know, the fact that it touched it would bring a day that presses that issue. But for the entire time that Venus is in Taurus, I would stack my money as opposed to spending it needlessly and make sure that whatever you buy is something you absolutely need, you know, and play it like you don't have any money, you know, even if you do, because Venus in that square aspect, you can easily get in a situation where you got to spend it up or where you could spend it up, and then you're going to need it later. So be conservative in your economic endeavor, that's all.
All right, but another question. It also squares my Saturn because
your what?
Aquarius. My Saturn. It also squares my Saturn, or it will do.
Okay, so then again, anytime you're dealing with Venus in square, you got to be concerned about your expenditures, your appetites, and your sensual indulgence. So be conservative when it comes to those areas. you know. Venus is also the ruler of your ninth place, all right? And you have to be concerned about your schooling or your travel, okay? So be conservative. Be conservative with your financial situation so that you don't put any more turbulence in those areas of life that is already manifesting, if any, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'll be
It's awesome, baby!
I'll be contacting you guys very, very soon. It's good to kind of get another perspective as well from another
Indeed.
Cosmo visit.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Ra'aku's number is 516-881-6992. 516-881-992. Cosmo Chris is 215-370-0741. Coach Kyer is 336-587-1215. And I'm going to write down Darren's number before a show one time, so I don't have to keep on going through that.
So the cell phone age that everybody's not remembering anyone's number.
Nah, forget about it. Darren Brown's number is 314-565-8907, 314-565-8907. And big shouts out to everybody across the pond. I do Skype, so if you want to hit me on Skype and save a buck or two, you can. Just Coach Kyer, search me out, send me a request, and we'll get that in. You see how I'm just filling in the air as I pull up Marku's number. I'm pretty sure Ra'aku and Cosmo Chris don't have any problem Skyping a session in or Uvu. Marku's number is 716-563-4354. 716-563-4354. All right. Thank you so much for calling in tonight.
Get Marku the next reading. He's online. Marku, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, bro. I saw that you dropped off a minute.
Next caller from the 212-470. Your microphone is wide open. How you doing tonight? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Queens, New York.
All right, thank you. Can we have your birthday, please?
All right, I'm October 12, 1979.
And do you know what time you were born?
My mom says 12:30, but she's not sure.
AM or PM?
Which one?
Daytime.
Noon. 12:30. Okay. You ever have, through the course of your life, or early childhood, say the first 12 years of your life, issues with the stomach, the rib cage, or digestion of food, or upset stomach?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of?
Mm-mm.
How about heart or upper back or spine?
No, not really. I'm a generally pretty healthy person. I get a lot of scratches and burns and things like that, cuts and scratches, that sort of thing.
To your arms? What part of the body?
Hands, and like knees and elbows, that sort of thing.
Knees and elbows?
Yeah. Fingers, that sort of thing.
Okay, then that is that the only injury that you can remember in early childhood? The first 12, 15 years of your life, are the knees and the elbows the only thing that was reoccurring? Or is there something else? Don't need to know the issue, but the part of the body you can remember.
I can't remember.
I mean, you have Mars in Leo, which shows some signs of affliction, possibly to the upper back or injury to the spine, maybe if it was a small injury. Mars denotes a sprain, maybe, that you experienced in the back or the upper back, or a breakout or rashes on the upper back that you've also may have occurred in your life, possibly. You have Mars in Leo.
No.
No?
No.
October 12th, 1979?
Yeah.
On a Friday at 12:30. Okay. Well, we can go with the solar chart, okay, due to the 5-minute increment that we have here for these demos. And I'm going to put Pluto and Mars as your second house ruler, because you're a Libra. The second sign after Libra would be Scorpio. An ancient rulership, Mars rules Scorpio, and Pluto rules Scorpio. And when you were born, you have the Sun and Pluto conjunct, which stands for, it shows significant amount of power you have experienced in your relationships and financial power plays in relationships, and sudden change of mind due to the financial position of the partner. Does this ring a bell?
Yes.
Yes. This time, I'm curious about the time though. 12:30. I can't let this go. Is that a birth certificate time, or is that something that your mom maybe gave you, or is that something that?
Yeah, she gave it to me, but she did say that she did not remember exactly. So maybe it's wrong. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I'd like to get a reading regarding finances and opportunities.
Well, financially, when we look at Mars here, I'm going to look at you as your solar chart. Placing your Sun 18 degrees on the ascendant, has Mars running through your 8th house, running fast, because Mars is fast. So opportunities with sharing resources with another. You might be waiting, or you might be contracting to join ventures with another individual. They may be saving up some money, because you have Chiron there. So maybe the venture that you're going into with someone, there may be some wound on their behalf, or they may need a little more time, because Saturn opposes that Chiron station. And Saturn is in between, is right on your Mercury station, so you experience all kind of delays on your day-to-day phone calls, letters, writings, and all these things here, you see. And because Mars, which is the financial planet in your solar chart, and it's transiting the 8th house, and the 8th house has to do with shared resources, other people's money, or your partner's money. If you are in a relationship right now, it might be the partner having a drive and zest to go after, maybe working longer hours because Saturn opposes there, or the lack thereof, conflicts and strife due to the partner not having or contributing. Some of these things ring a bell?
Yeah, well, it would have. That was the situation when I did have a partner. He's now deceased.
Well, still, the planetary energies, they still ripple. They have a ripple effect. So even with this partnership, whether it was a year ago, that ripple, this now we're coming back to it again. That would have been 2 years. If that relationship was anywhere from 2.5 years ago, that would be Mars's transit. You see what I'm saying? So now would be your first steps into getting over that.
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Okay, and so very, very recently here, because Mars just stepped into finances, so you would have, let me be specific, on the 20th, yesterday, you might have come to a bright idea like, oh, wow, from your past relationship, how much of a gain or how much you lost or how much you were able to keep track of your possessions. You see what I'm saying? You might even have had a breakdown for a second yesterday because that would have been a pulse for Mars coming back into that shared resources. And for the next 30 days, you'll be experiencing those things. But don't be too hard on yourself if you experience delays because things do take time. And there's still some more values that you are going through right now significantly. The past 3 years have been about you maturing. Even though that you went through your Saturn return, let me see here, about 4 years ago. Yes, precisely. 4 years ago, you went through your Saturn return, you went through some losses, and then you experienced some more losses about 2 years after that. Was when you were 32. Yeah,
33.
2 years after that. Excuse me?
I'm 33.
You're 33, excuse me, so 31 then. You experienced with a significant death or transformation in the family, maybe a father or grandfather or someone who was very powerful in the family. Saturn rolled over Sun Pluto. Is that
absolutely accurately on. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you're absolutely on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on. I'm just reading the planets. The planets are always on, but Saturn rolled over your Sun Pluto station, and now that energy is progressed into your second house. So it has to do with you saving, and it has to do with your health and your foods that you eat. You can cut some corners and save significant financial savings on your creature foods, foods that don't really have no nutritional value to you. You know exactly where that is.
I do.
And that's my piece on that. I would still like to get your rising sign, though. I don't like that.
I'd like to say something about that.
Okay.
If I can. You were asking me about my back earlier,
Okay.
and I was just reflecting on it. And although I've not had any injuries, I carry tension in my upper back. It's very significant. I am always having to work.
And you have high cheekbones? Do you have high cheekbones?
I would not say so.
You would not say so. The bone structure in your is significant, though. I would like to see a picture. Are you? I'm not gonna guess. My time is up.
Okay.
I would still like it if you can call me. I want to get the rising sign. You probably get another 10 more minutes because I don't even like how that went. So, very well. My time is up. Peace. Thank you for calling.
Peace. Yes.
Give you a number, Marco.
I wrote it down. I'm going to text you right now.
Okay.
Okay, then. Peace.
Yeah, thanks.
It's awesome, baby!
Yeah, we're waiting. Do I need to do this?
Nah. Caller from the 201-357. Your microphone is wide open. Can I get your name? I'm sorry. Yeah, get your where you're calling from, please.
Peace. My name is Christine. How's everyone doing this evening? I'm calling from New Jersey.
Right. Yeah, we know who this is.
Oh, you do? Peace, everyone. I know you do. Peace, Rob. Peace, Coach, and Cozmo, Chris, and Marco as well.
Peace.
What's going on, Chris? I mean, what's the sign, Mama?
Life, life goes on. All is well. Can't complain.
I haven't heard from you in a zillion years. I haven't heard from you in a zillion years. You know,
I realize that.
Still running around? Yeah, them dinosaurs still running. Them dinosaurs still running around in your backyard.
Ooh!
That's how long it's been since we spoke. That time we spoke, it was a dinosaur Tyrannosaurus Rex in your backyard, right?
I can't.
Yeah, okay.
How are you?
What's your question? I'm doing fine, Mama. What's your question?
I'm calling about money.
Of course. All right.
You know.
Give me the birthday.
May 3rd.
I don't remember. May 3rd.
1978.
1907. Okay. All right.
9:27 a.m.
May 3rd, 1978. At 9:27 a.m.
Yes, in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay. Good old Detroit.
But I'm in New Jersey now.
Yeah, I know.
So, and Saturn squaring your Mars right now. You got Mars and Saturn conjunct. That's discipline with dealing with children, not necessarily your own. Well, that's because I know your occupation. It also has everything to do with energy drain. You've been like really drained. You've been really tired. You don't even feel like it anymore, huh? You know? Yeah.
Yes, I thought it was
with Saturn squaring that right now, it's going to try to sap your energy. And that's going to last for a little while, okay?
Until
because more than likely, because Saturn has to move past your sun degree. Now, understand here, okay, that Saturn is going to move over Saturn has passed your Chiron degree. All right, that's financial recovery that you had to go through, or some form of budgeting or limitation involved in your lifestyle, your financial spending. Saturn in opposition to that means that you weren't applying, or that you may not have been applying proper discipline in that area. Situations always arise that point to what you need to be doing. So hopefully that didn't take long. That's a past aspect that just occurred like over the last month and a half or so, maybe 2 months. Now, Saturn is it's retro, so it's going to come back to your Chiron degree. You understand? It's going to reach back to your Chiron degree. All you have to do is track Saturn's motion and find out when he gets to 5 degrees, 49 minutes, you understand, of Scorpio. And that will be the height, the peak, the pinnacle, not the beginning. It's already in effect. Your budgeting, your disciplinary spending should already be in effect right now. Okay? So anything you absolutely don't have to buy, you don't need it, don't buy it. Especially on the Saturn issue, because when Saturn goes direct, you'll be confronted with all of those situations that you needed to save that money for.
Yeah.
Then you gotta worry about Saturn when he gets to be at 12 degrees of Scorpio in about I would say 6. I don't even know how many days. So I don't even want to wail right now. I don't even want to take a crackpot at it, but you can look at it because I know you understand how to move. That's right. So track Saturn to when he gets to be 12 degrees. That will be the peak of how it affects you personally. All right? It may interfere with your associations, close associates, and or loved ones. Okay? I don't know how you and your spouse are getting along. I don't want to elaborate on it any.
I don't have a spouse.
Yeah. Okay. Well, a mate. Okay. You call going to church. You call going to church and going to the altar your spouse. Your chart says whoever you have a commitment with is your spouse. So if there's any form of commitment involved,
Gotcha.
if there's any form of commitment involved, then that's going to meet some type of challenge that may be financial or moral. Okay, maybe monetary, maybe moral. That's what we can't tell as Cozmo physicians. The fact
Can
that
you tell
Venus
where
is
I can make extra money?
The fact that Venus is coming through that place at this point does give you an opportunity to save and or create some dividends, some money. Okay? But you have to understand that Saturn is in opposition to that. And in your natal chart, it's like a hidden square between your Venus and your Saturn, even though it's like not really even an aspect. But you're going to have to work. You're going to have to work at it. It's going to require some effort, some patience, some planning, some scheduling, and some what they call steadfastness.
All right.
You have to do some due diligence with that regard. All right. Saturn in opposition to the Sun, it challenges the way you feel. It challenges your confidence. Understand that all of that pessimism that you may experience internally or externally is only Saturn vibration. It's only water. Put that oil on yourself and let it run off your back like a duck. Let water run off his back. Don't allow it to put you in a position where you start saying, woe is me, shit ain't working, I'm so sad, I'm never going to make it. Don't go there. Don't go there. There's nothing but the weather. All right?
All right.
And stay motivated, because Saturn square your Mars challenges your motivation, your self-motivation. Stay motivated, Mama.
Thank you very much, Ra, as always.
You're welcome. Peace.
Peace.
It's awesome, baby!
Do a little too much.
All right.
It's awesome, baby!
Get that guy out of now. Let's call it for the 336-210. Thanks for calling in the Cosmo Physics Radio. Your mic is wide open. Where are you calling from? Hello, 336-210. Your mic is wide open. Hello.
Hey, I'm calling from Greensboro, North Carolina.
All right. Can we get your name? Well, we'll need your name. Did you have a comment, question, or you want to get a mini reading?
I wanted the mini reading.
All right. Cosmo Chris, you're up. Let me pull up some info here. I was waiting on Cosmo Chris. Can we get your birthday, please?
It's March 19th, 1974.
March 19th, 1974. And what year? I'm sorry, what time were you born?
4:06 a.m.
4:06 a.m.
When's your birthday, then? Chris can't take this call, man. She's occupied right now. She's not even going to be on for the rest of the night. She's gone.
All right. March 19th, 1974. And Greensboro, North Carolina.
That's where I am currently, yes.
Well, you know, like the
born
song.
in Maryland.
All right.
You said that's your aunt's chart?
No, that's mine.
Okay. You ever had an issue with your lower digestive tract or your lower back, one or the other?
Ooh, golly, I've always had an issue with that. I also have a slight curve in my spine.
Okay, very well. And we got you. You're super sensitive individual. Music really moves you. You're going through right now idealism shift. All your ideals are changing. Not ideas, ideals.
Oh,
you know, and your sense of spirituality is either heightened or...
Can you share the rising sign with the rest of us, please, my brother?
Pisces, champ.
Thank you.
That's my rising?
Yes, ma'am.
She said 4:06 a.m.
Yeah, 4:06 a.m. And I got Pisces rising. Okay? I also have it in daylight savings time. Pardon me.
In Greensboro, North Carolina?
No, I'm not even in Greensboro, but that doesn't make any difference. That's only like 4 degrees here, you know. So 4:06 a.m., not in daylight savings time, puts Aquarius there. Okay, what about your lower digestive tract? You had an issue with that at any point in your life?
You might have the wrong year in there, Rob. Is it 73 or 74, ma'am?
It's 74.
74. It's March 19th, 74 at 4:06 a.m.
I was born in Cheverly, Maryland, but I'm currently in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Ain't that something? I used to run through Cheverly every day because I used to live right there in Blaisburg. I know you're aware of where Blaisburg is.
Well, I actually grew up in Suitland.
Oh, yeah, I used to live there too, in Pembroke. You know, we was all over the place.
Wow.
Yeah. Metropolitan area. What's up, homie? Yeah, indeed. Let me see now here. Let me look at you, March 19th.
Well,
okay, I got it. No, I got Aquarius rising, champ.
I'm getting Capricorn, 4:06 a.m.
I got Capricorn.
Do y'all have it in Eastern Standard Time on March the 19th, or you have it on EDT, Eastern Daylight Time?
Man, same astro I've been pulling up for everybody all night.
Right. 19 degrees Capricorn.
Yep,
yeah,
Marco got it.
I got it right here, March 19th, 1974, Tuesday, 4:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In other words, time zone 5. I got Aquarius rising. Okay, but she said she gave it up when she said she had curvature in her spine. She also said she had issues with her lower digestive tract. And you know how we do with the 8th place. One has to come before the other, and the one that comes first, that came before the other, is usually the one that is prominent, right? So let me ask you, young lady, March the 19th, is the issue with the back, does it precede the issue with the lower digestive tract, or the lower digestive tract came first? Which one?
Oh God! I would say that's something. The lower digestive. That's something I think I'll kind of always remember. I can't say it was something that preceded. I think now I have more of a problem with the curve in my back than I did when I was younger.
Interesting.
Okay. Now, watch this, y'all. This ain't the eight-place method or nothing. This is how we use keywords. All right. Keyword for Capricorn is I love to take my time. Keyword for Aquarius is yesterday tomorrow ain't here fast enough. So which one fits you? The first one.
I would say I love to take my time. I think that's probably my husband's famous thing for me. I do things in my own time.
Oh yeah, well then you a Capricorn rising, and you made your boyfriend or your husband cry before, haven't you?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that works. That's terrible. You're so mean. Okay, I'm just joking.
Not intentionally. But if you ask him, he would say so.
Your sun shines at 28 degrees Pisces in opposition to Pluto. You quite the rebel in your own quiet way.
Yeah.
You know. And I would say that you are very strong on optimism and inspiration. You're one of those inspirational speakers. All you need is a little verbal push, and you chase after that money with quickness. Okay. Yeah, and that's mutually receptive by the fact that Neptune is in Sagittarius. So one of your elders, either an elder brother or sister, or an aunt or uncle, or someone who you look at like a big brother or sister, all right, or an uncle or aunt. These people were very key in inspiring you to. They change your whole material mind, your whole materialist mind, the way you look at money and finance, things of this nature. It may very well also have something to do with your higher education.
Oh, gosh. I would say yes. Even helping me through school, I've gotten my aunts and my uncles kind of help, and my grandparents help contribute to make sure that I was able to succeed.
Well, now watch how people read their own chart. You said, and your grandparents.
Yes.
That's because the 12th cup describes the grandparents, and it goes into that sign that I was reading, even though Neptune falls in the 11th. So that goes to show everybody out there who's studying this science how to be mindful of the fact that even though a planet may be in the 11th house, it falls in the 12th sign, because the first sign of this chart is Capricorn. So when you count all the way around the Sagittarius, it's in the 12th sign. So Neptune is in the 12th and in the 11th in that case. Just like you see Sagittarius in the 11th house, in the later part of the 11th and the first part of the 12th. And that's for our students here. Okay.
Right.
Now, when it comes to you've been spending this year extra, or your spouse has. Either way, your household finances have gone into overdrive. Y'all overspending or not paying very specific attention to the expenses, and this is going to cause problems if it hasn't already started causing problems. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it will definitely affect your lifestyle, your transportation, your ability to get around. You want to go on a trip this summer, that's going to be shortened if you're not careful. So you have to pay very close attention to how you're spending this route, and especially because Venus is moved into Taurus, which is on the 5th cusp in your chart, even though it's still in the 4th house, which means that it has everything to do with your sense of fun, joy, having a good time, spending on entertainment, things of this nature. Because it's in opposition to Saturn, which is right in your mid-heaven by now, then you're going to have to get used to a more frugal budget for the next, I would say, 2 months if you want to get it back on track.
Okay.
Got any more questions?
Say that again.
Do you have any more questions?
Actually, no, I don't.
Very well. Thank you very much for calling. Please stay listening, to our program.
I will. Thank you.
That was pretty good, too, right?
That was pretty good. It was pretty accurate, too. Thank you.
Thank you.
I like how you put the second house rule in the 4th house.
You like how I what?
I like how you read the second house ruler in the 4th house with that one, with her moon Venus right there like that.
Yeah,
I just learned something.
She likes surprises, man, and and she, when it comes to money and finances, she's pretty quick. She makes up her mind pretty quick, but she just needs to slow down a little bit. And if it ain't her,
If the spouse, she still has a position in that, you know, so she can bring that to the fore, you know. Indeed.
Next, it's awesome, baby.
Next is calling from the 302-543, and the hits
just keep on coming.
Coming.
Calling from the 302-543. Keep wide open. How you doing tonight? Thanks for calling Cosmo Physics Radio, and how can we help you?
Well, let me see here. I was born December 1968.
December what?
December the 22nd, 1968. But here's the catch. It was between 11:55 and 12:05. 12:05 I came out.
AM or PM?
Midnight. AM, midnight.
Wow. Yes,
Right.
that's like a 24-hour shake here.
So,
right? Either way it goes, let me ask you, okay? Because if you were born at 11:55, then that puts let me see, hold on, let me look at 11:55.
Wait a minute, I started at 11:55, but I ended up all the way out at 12:05. So all these years I've been celebrating my birthday on the 22nd.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. But don't even worry about that, because this is all I need to know, all right? And it's one or the other, right?
Right.
The issue, the pain or the healing process that you had to experience in the first part of your life was either in your face and head, or the right or the left ear, or it was in the neck somewhere, inside or outside the neck, you know, muscles or skin or tonsillitis, strep throat, laryngitis, or the right ear. Which one was it?
Shoot, that's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. I had strep throat when I was younger. Strep throat when I was young. I think it was my left side, my left ear.
Yeah. Okay. So you never had any issues with your head, with your nasal sinus, allergies, cuts or scars on your face or anything, or your left ear.
No, I'm still handsome, brother.
Okay. Well, I mean, I got scars on my face. I'm handsome, champ. What you talking about? Okay, I'm just joking. All right, you are a Libra rising, all right? You got Uranus, Jupiter, and Mars there, all right? That would point to issues with the face or the blood, right? But, you know, you're still a young man. We ain't going to trip off of that right now. You have questions with regard to your financial situation, I take it.
Right.
Yeah, well, you know, you like clothing, man. You love your clothes, you know, and you put a lot of energy in that at one point in your life. I don't know if you stepped away from that. Now you should be highly concerned about your weight and your health, because the ruler of your second house is in the 12th, which means that at one point you were very extravagant or, you know, very careless or carefree with your money. Now, I suppose you're born in 68, you're in your 40s, you come to a point where you pretty much mature and know what you have to do and take care of your responsibilities. That does not alleviate the fact that Libra is a creature of comfort. They love their comfort. They love their peace of mind. You know, that seems to take priority over everything, you know. So at this point in your development, Venus has moved into your 8th place. So things should be looking good for your significant other or whom you've had dealings.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any specific questions that you want me to address?
It was just basically, man, prosperity is what I'm looking for. You know what
okay,
I mean?
well, right now, I can tell you, right? When Saturn rolled through your first house, which was like from 2010, the end of 2010, beginning of 2011 to 2012, October, right around 2012, you were, you know, in some unstable circumstances. You're doing a lot of traveling, spending a lot of money on transportation or travel.
Moving from place to place, you could say.
Yeah, okay, that is travel, all right. And because of that, the spontaneity that came with that, there wasn't a lot of financial planning involved. I know that because Uranus is very spontaneous. That had a lot to do with your relationship. This is the reason why, right? Your spouse or your girlfriend. At any rate, when Saturn
conjunct Jupiter, people that are unaware of this energy and how to use it, they usually waste money. They go through money like, whoa, like they shouldn't have. Then they look back on that shit to be like, man, I spent all that money, man, carelessly, running to and fro, and then it comes to Mars, which would show some legal action or some issues, some conflict in the relationship if it wasn't some legal action. That would have been like between August and October of last year. So now, as of October, Saturn has moved into your money house, okay? And Pluto is like hovering between your Sun and your Mercury. You got to change your mindset, man. The way you look at things, your general overall reactionary attitude mentally is what you've got to change. You've got to bring that to a disciplined focus and bring it to a more mature standing, all right? And because of that, you're going to be forced to do so because Saturn moving through your second house is not aspecting Saturn in your seventh place very well. Is not aspecting Venus, which is your money, which is the planet of money, and the moon. So your domestic situation and your relationship should be going through some turbulence at this time. You're going to have to exercise a little tolerance, a little self-restraint, not being so severe, being more persevering in the pursuit of fulfilling your desires. Because this is what Saturn in Scorpio calls for. Because it's in a mutual recession and your Sun is in Capricorn, you know very well how to be conservative. Well, you need to go back into that mode. Capricorn, very much like the sign of Cancer, has a very strong inclination to seek to resolve things with finances, with expensive gifts, or with elaborate spendings and things of this nature. You're going to have to go into recession mode. Act like you're in a recession. Stop. Reevaluate things financially before you jump out there. Am I touching on? Am I resonating with you?
Everything. All I can say is you guys, you get everything right on point. Thank you guys, man. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes.
It's awesome, baby.
I like how you did that one too. I seen that. You're on track El Saturnine. Yeah.
Yeah, well, baby. All right, I'm going to let you get the next one if you want. Is Darren still on the line, man, or what?
Yeah, he there. Listening.
I don't recognize his number, Coach. What is his number? 215 what? 214? No, he's not there. Okay, let's go to the next person. What's up, Coach? Where you at, man?
And the hits just keep on coming.
And the hits just keep on coming.
I see you been eating extra weeds over there tonight. Man, calling from the 215-317. Your microphone is wide open. How you doing tonight?
Hey, how y'all doing? Calling out of Philadelphia.
All right.
Birthday is February 21st, 1987.
February 21st, 87?
Yeah, February 21st, 1987.
And what time of day, bro?
That's actually what I'm trying to figure out. My mom told me, in the morning.
What's your earliest
maybe
injury?
5 to 7.
What's your earliest injury that you can remember from first 12 years of your life?
Well, I will start off to say I was born with sickle cell. If that had anything to do with it. But earliest injury was
Okay, hang on. That would be the
fracture.
blood.
Right.
Hang on a second. You said you were born with sickle cell, right?
Right.
Okay, that would be that would place Sagittarius in the 8th house. Right?
What would be the rising?
Yeah. Let him hit the injury too, though, Marco, because he has Mars with affliction to the sun. First of all,
Pardon me.
For Pluto, all right?
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. You were saying the injury that you can remember?
If I can remember, it was my left foot fracture.
You fractured your left foot. So we know he's either a Leo or a Taurus rising, right?
Cancer or with your foot or your ankle?
It was the foot. It was the top of the foot. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know why my memory's so bad. But if I'm not mistaken, it was the left.
Actually, if you remember the top of the foot, that's pretty good. Okay?
I just don't remember which one. That's the issue. No, that's okay. It doesn't make a difference which foot. Good. Yeah. That doesn't make a difference which foot. The fact that we know he's either a Taurus rising with Sag in the 8th or he's a Leo rising. So now all you gotta do is tap him in both places.
Okay, in Philadelphia, PA, that puts I got Leo rising here. That puts Taurus in the 10th house. And
would it help to
you have Mars? Excuse me.
Would it help to say that I had, like, I don't know why, but I'm always going through some type of ailment or injury through my life. They're all different types. I guess some was related to sickle cell, but then some not. I also fractured my left wrist at 17 when I was like 17.
Okay, we're not gonna concern ourselves with what happened after like the age of 12, after puberty.
Nah, that's fine. I tell you that's Mercury square Saturn. That's fine. I think he's a Leo rising, which what I was getting ready to say is that Mars is activated, some type of learning, you might some type of job, because the 10th house is career, puts you in face to face with the boss or in the public image. So you might have just recently, and your Mars is at 0 degrees Taurus. Mars just stepped in there, which is the ruler of your 9th house. So you just got a job, which might have had some type of training class that you had to start with, or you had just recently started. And does that ring with you?
Recently I was starting my own business.
Okay.
I'm still kind of working on it, kind of put it to the side just a bit. Did y'all get did y'all get a timing for the time of day?
Yeah, roughly for this demonstration, I'm not going to be able to get specific with you, but for Saturday, the 21st of February, 1987, I have you as 3:25 p.m. in Philadelphia p.m.
Yeah.
But that's the starting point.
Okay.
You see, which would bring us, at the age of 6, possibly at the age of 6, you would have experienced some type of conflict or irritation, or suddenly had to move, maybe your living circumstances, possibly. I don't know if you can remember that far back, but there's something significant with the father and or the overall position of the home, status of your living circumstances. If you remember moving around 6, 7.
I think it was 5, maybe.
Was it 5? So we might not be too far off. However the case may be, applying what we learned this evening, your 2nd house is Virgo, and the planet that rules Virgo, planet Mercury is the planet that rules Virgo, and Mercury right now is in Aries, conjunct Uranus, which is mad knowledge right now. You would be getting a whole stream of information in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
Okay?
True.
And it would be...
doing a lot of studying.
Okay. And it would be, it would be something that would be significant in you filling your purpose, and you even have an insatiable pursuit for this philosophy. This philosophy would definitely have something to do with anything financial or value, or being a leader as far as an administrator, as an administrative positioning.
Okay. To tell you right now is the time where you activate. You're in the East Coast, so hang on. Let me flip this real quick. Let me spin this wheel back and go back to the new moon. Because at the new moon, let me see here real quick. Let me do some experimenting. The new moon was at 20 degrees Aries, which is in between your North Node and your Mars degree. You see what I'm saying? So you've had a significant drive and energy and pursuit. Okay? Mars jumped into Taurus yesterday. So yesterday you were probably extremely hot. You had all kinds of energy, and you were probably while you were studying.
Right.
What did you go to? You would have probably went to a university or some type of school or learning center. And when you were there, you were sweating. Whatever clothes you had on, and you seen a lot of red and heard a lot of ambulances and fire trucks and all the above yesterday, right?
Correct.
Right.
Okay. You're right on with that one, man. You're right on the money with that one.
I know. Let me finish. Let me spin the wheel again on you and talk about the new moon again, because at the time of the new moon, this is one of my specialties here. And at the time of the new moon, Mercury was rising where I'm at, 18 degrees. You're in Philadelphia, so you're south of me, so you would have to be before that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. 5 minus 8 is what? 3, 13. So in Philadelphia, your Mercury was rising, just as my Mercury was rising, because I know myself and I've experienced my life in this time. You're not too far off because your Mercury was rising, which means that this entire rest of the month, all the way up to this full moon, has to do with your speaking. When you're talking to other people, you need to make sure that you're talking to them clear and concise, because sometimes it could sound mumbo-jumbo-y. You want to get your I's dotted and your T's crossed when it comes to your contract paperwork or what you want from your client or what you want from your partner to produce, and you'll experience a lot more of those, a lot more fruits this month, because Taurus is in the ground, the earth sign, and your Mars is there. That makes that ground fertile in the area of administrative work, and you actually taking control of your work and some of the financial work and seeing how the economics are involved. I would say that you're thinking, writing it down, visualizing it, not necessarily writing it down, but just seeing a picture, a clear and concise picture. This takes you to view over information and see it holistically. You know, and whatever it is that you're learning, a lot of your trade that you've been learning should be applied. Absolutely. Because we're getting ready to go here into a full moon in Scorpio, and you could experience some either power plays. Someone might feel that you might be abusing your power or some way, shape, or form, so you want to turn it down a little bit. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Observe yourself. And excuse me?
Yeah, I said okay.
Does this ring, or is this not ringing with you?
No, that's ringing.
Okay, so, you know, Saturn is conjuncting your Pluto, and Pluto, as from what I know, most simplistically, is crisis. You know, this is a power planet. This is where power struggles and things of this nature. And because it's in Scorpio, as a Leo rising, this makes all the fixed signs. If you don't know, I'm telling you now, all the fixed signs are Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. You may hear of it in the Bible as the mark of the beast. You might have heard it as that. Well, that signature right there in the zodiac is Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, and Saturn is sitting there, and the full moon's going to be there. So pay attention to your power plays, man, affecting your career, man.
Okay.
See clearly.
Okay. One question now. The rising sign is
Leo.
Leo?
Yeah, 3:25 p.m. is real close. It's real close. If you were to go to any one of the ones of us on the panel, you can start, say, I'm starting with 3:25. I got a reading, da-da-da, and we can start with that there. Or you can call me directly if you don't got my number. Coach about to give it out right now.
You said p.m., right?
I said 3:25 p.m. is only a starting point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your ascendant sign is definitely your ascendant sign is definitely Leo, champ. Or everything he said to you right now would not have been working.
He gave you a Leo reading. So the 325 would be a time to start with. It would not be a time for you to say that that's exactly what time you were born, because we haven't worked out the minute. Leo rises in your environment. Leo rises for about 2.5 hours, maybe a minute or two more than 2.5 hours every day. So we are either an hour before or an hour after 325. Okay, we're within a 2-hour margin here. So we'd actually work that out if you decided to get a reading.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Marco, you killing them, man. What you been eating this morning, man? What you was eating this morning?
It's awesome, baby.
I'm just following you.
Okay. Very well.
Hey, that timeline thing that you gave, man, I think that you are super psychic, man, because I've been dealing with that directly. And you talk about it, it's like, man, whatever, man. I ain't talked to this man in like 2 weeks, and here he's coming with something that I've been doing this week.
Well, I can tell you, man, I don't care how far an individual gets in his study of cosmophysics. That number line is invaluable.
Man.
It's easy access for the novice, and it's easy access for the professional.
People don't even realize how much of a benefit it is if they know a little bit about their chart and they go to a cosmophysician. How much more money they get.
It's awesome, baby.
We got you, Coach. We got you.
Hold on, man. Look, hold on. We got, y'all not watching the clock. We only got 7 minutes left. We only got one more person. So y'all can chop this up. We have said the timeline all night. They can go back and listen to that. Let's get to the last person.
No, we got more than one more person. We got to call that brother Jericho back in. He's been sitting here patiently waiting, man.
Well, then Jericho may be the last person. But either way, y'all got to chill out because we ain't got but 7 minutes. So let me give a shout-out to, for those of you all who listen to the show tonight, you're understanding about Venus and Taurus. A lot of you need more direction. Go to honesthustle.info and get the ebook, Brand Your Swag. 32 pages. It's going to put you in the proper direction. If you have any problem with anything on that site, just hit Coach up 336-587-1215. If you're interested in coming to the Speakers Academy and learning how to garner $1,000 or more as you do speaking engagements, or you want to take your book from thought to finish and ship boxes and write a book to make some money, not just write a book to say you wrote a book, then come on down and learn from somebody who actually did it. From one academy to the another. You study in cosmophysics, you got a subject. You take your rising sign, they go to first chapter. You take your second house, they go to second chapter. Everybody's got 12 chapters they can write. Simple book. Let Hotep show you how to get it published and show you how to get out there and make some bread. All right? The opportunity's there. Let's make it pop. HonestHustle.info. Jericho, your line is open. Call it from the 323. Your mic is wide open. Can we get that birthday?
October 11th, 1980, 5:16 a.m., Long Beach, California.
Okay, you moving a little fast. We ain't got that kind of computer, so can you run that back for us?
Yeah, no problem, brother. October 11th, 1980, at 5:16 a.m. in Long Beach, California.
And daylight saving time was in effect, y'all, so pay attention. At 5 what in the morning again?
5:16 a.m. 5:16.
I got him. Oh, he a Virgo rising, man. And he got Jupiter conjunct the ascendant at what? 26 degrees. Yep. So people accuse you of being loud a lot, man? Huh?
Say it again?
People accuse you of being loud?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Man, I understand. Don't worry about them, man. Their hearing is just too good. Tell them to turn down the volume a little bit. You also have Saturn right here, man. So, you often get into situations where you overconfident, optimistic, and not looking before you leap.
that's a lesson you have to learn in life, especially with regards to working with others. You know, it's like when you get a team, you get super confident, man. But you got to keep in mind your limitations and those things that may very well get in the way. Because Murphy ain't playing. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, right? I also see that But as an entrepreneur, you're supposed to be like that. You taking some serious losses though, man. You know, when you gamble, you shooting craps, man. You running to Vegas on us real pretty often, or what is it? Because Jupiter and Saturn in such close proximity say that you've invested yourself or your money in how can you say, in abundance, and didn't reap what you were supposed to gain, or you've splurged on opportunities, man. You know, you've blown opportunities by splurging. So it's good for you to be ultra conservative and ultra considerate of that which follows, especially because Saturn, the Sun, and Pluto are all in the second sign but the first house. And let me tell you what that means. It happens to affect your character. When you're doing bad financially, nigga, your attitude is piss poor. You know, you gotta learn how to maintain that optimism even when your pennies is low.
All right.
Is it resonating with you?
No, it's definitely resonating. It's just it's like when it's bad, it's bad. But I mean, I just gotta push forward and just make it happen anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't enough. That's my thing.
Okay, you injured your left arm, man? You injured your left arm, collarbone, shoulder, elbow, wrist?
Yeah, I got shot in my left arm right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could have a serious injury here in your left arm. I wouldn't know if it was getting shot, but now that you say that, you definitely testify that Mars was placed there and Uranus was placed. Not only did it tear flesh, you broke the bone there too, didn't it?
Yep, sure enough. You got that on point.
Yeah, indeed. Right, but you're a fast talker, bro, and that's how you seem to benefit in your domestic situation. Also, you read quickly, which reflects back on the Saturn being in your face. You need really to think things through. Right now, you're faced with a situation that's causing you to reassess everything, to reclass everything, the way you think, the way you express yourself verbally. You have to get more professional in your presentation, or what they call more conventionally professional in the way that you pursue things, or you're going to experience through haste and impatience, through intolerance, and through flash decision making losses. So what you're going to have to do is assess every situation, be more careful, in your endeavor. Now, this is in pursuit of your pleasure, in pursuit of fulfilling your desires, financially or sensually. You understand when I say sensually what I mean? With the females. Sensual means, with the females and with the creature comforts, with the eating and eating out and not spending your money wisely on creature comforts. I don't know your status with regard to your habits, blowing weed or drinking, things of this nature. But Mars and
I was saying, I'm like, you're right with that. I don't smoke or drink no more, but I do be like spending when I don't need to be spending. So I feel you on that one.
Yeah, this seems like what you call